I'm Christine Lisi. The next chapter for one of the most intriguing stories this NFL offseason is about to be written with the franchise tag window open. It involves a marquee name, Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson. The Ravens could put the exclusive or non-exclusive tag on Jackson as the sides try to work out a long-term contract. Baltimore really, though, has only one option here, believes our Keyshawn Johnson.
Best thing for them to do, though, is try to figure out how to get the deal done, man. I understand you don't want to spend $230 million, whatever the case is, but get close enough. Get close enough to that guaranteed money, put some incentives in there that's makeable, likely to be earned, and then we can go from there.
He of Keyshawn, J-Will, and Max. NBA Nets coach Jacques Vaughn has agreed to a multi-year extension. The deal is expected to keep him under contract through the 2026-2027 season, according to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. Bulls point guard Lonzo Ball, dealing with a persistent knee injury, has been ruled out for the remainder of the season. NHL Avalanche star defenseman Cale Makar back in concussion protocol. He's expected to miss at least the next 2 games.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. They're close, convenient, and have the parts you need fast, along with excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, 2 men, 1 journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit. Let's go! Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. And Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We are back and in full effect, and Jeremy's got his bells on. So you know what that means. It's got to be Mardi Gras time. It's Fat Tuesday. I was today years old when I found out that today is Fat Tuesday.
Yep, didn't know.
No, thanks to our costume designer, Bob, my dad, brought us Mardi Gras stuff to wear because, hey, that's just kind of how we roll.
Hey, and if you go off our YouTube comments, people already think I'm a clown anyway, so why not put a jester hat on me?
That's right.
Let's go.
Let's go. He's got the Mardi Gras hat on. We are ready and rocking to go here for the next 3 hours back from vacation. It was a nice few days off. Jeremy got some golf in.
I did. Got to see the best friends Rugrats, and I've learned. 3 days. That's what I got, and then I need CPs. I like CPs.
You could just go hard for 3 days,
Yeah,
and then
I'm too old. I'm too old for. Hey, the child wakes up at 3. Sweet.
The child.
He has
his child.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like I was getting up to save the day.
I thought this was another one of your the baby's sick excuses.
No.
What baby?
That is my new favorite excuse.
Oh, baby.
Anytime I don't want to do anything, baby's sick. You don't have a baby. Didn't say it was my baby. The baby is sick. That's all I said.
Yeah, the wife and I had a good couple of days down on the coast of South Carolina, enjoying the low country scene. A little bit of that salt therapy. There was no actual beach going, though. There's
how do you drive that far and then not go to the beach?
High beach.
It's like 70 degrees. How do you not go to the beach?
It wasn't that warm. It wasn't that warm down there on Saturday, our one full day down there.
It was 65 degrees in South Carolina.
It was like 57 degrees on the ocean. It was like, yeah.
That's enough. You drove that far. You visit the beach.
And we did. Like I said, we drove by it and waved and said, hi, beach.
We saw Cat Williams.
That's good. That's cool.
That was an interesting show. I did not know there were going to be a slew of friends hanging with Mr. Cooper, Mark Curry.
Nice.
Hilarious.
Nice.
Tommy Davidson. Not as hilarious.
He was there.
He did stuff. He was present and accounted for. We saw him with our own 2 eyes.
Very good. Very good. I got my my first Oculus experience. Wow, that thing is an adventure. And the first person I thought of, because my buddy got an Oculus, he was like, "You got to try this thing out." He got a Star Wars game, and the first person I thought of was Stephen Tao. And how many ceiling fans would Stephen Tao take out with his 6'9" arms trying to lightsaber fight Darth Vader?
Wielding his light sword.
In the virtual world. But by the way, if y'all haven't checked that out, find a friend that's got one and definitely check that out. It's worth the price of admission. Exactly. That VR reality. I can fully see a path where we're going to have we're going to have like little rooms where people just live in their virtual world.
I think we already do. Isn't that called Twitter?
Oh.
Boom! I've
Banger.
been gone for 5 days. Let's go!
That's a banger to open up the show here on the Sportsocracy, ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. We are seen everywhere on the YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat, and we're heard everywhere around the world, everywhere you go. With the iHeartRadio app, it's time for the opening drive.
Nope.
No, you got to hit that button.
Oh,
see,
I'm
nailed
telling
the
you.
open, and then
I'm already throwing shade at people. Let's go.
The opening drive is always brought to you by Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville. Yep, that's the home of the family plan. Go by there and mention the Sportsocracy when you're ready to make a trade-in. They'll give you $250 on top of whatever your trade-in is worth, whether you're in the market for a brand new vehicle or a certified pre-owned.
And I traded my 2023 Nissan Rogue Platinum Edition for a 2023 Rogue Platinum Edition, but this one has really, really sweet tan interior. Oh yeah. I don't actually know what color that is. I'm gonna find out. That
Smells of rich mahogany.
I have many fine books. I'm very learned.
I have leather-bound seats.
I'm very learned. It looks like a car that you should just have a nice scotch beside.
The outside of the car looks fantastic, but the inside looks even better. It's like the executive suite.
So I also learned there is a compartment. We learned this in the travels to South Carolina. There is a compartment under the dashboard.
Okay.
Never seen it before.
Okay.
So, you got the little cup holders, all that. There's a whole compartment where you can put things,
all
kinds of things for your drive. I personally put snacks there. That's what I did.
Good for you. Did you just put something in the cubby hole just so something would be in there?
Goldfish crackers. It's a long drive, and I get irritable.
Very nice. We got free agency opening, the franchise tag window has now opened in the NFL.
Yeah, there's one that definitively I do believe we're going to be seeing a franchise tag on Daniel Jones.
You think so?
Well, if you believe the reports, which are he's looking for $40 to $45 million per year from the New York Giants.
Mm-hmm.
In a completely unrelated story, I'm looking for $40 to $45 million with my next contract as well because I deserve it about as much as Daniel Jones does.
I got 3 words for you if you're the New York Giants.
Run!
Let him walk. If he thinks he's worth $40 to $45 million, I got a bridge to sell you, as Jeremy Greene likes to say.
Well, here's my question. All right. You are what the market says you are worth.
Yes.
You are what someone will pay you.
Yes.
Who in the world is paying him that?
No one.
Who in the world is going to pay him half of that?
Oh, I believe there would be.
Name them. Name me the team. You think the New York Jets are doing it? That's the most quarterback-needed team in the league. I don't know that the Saints would do it. Now, they would do it for Derek Carr because he's a high-level quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't get Derek Carr, it's, hey, Jimmy Garoppolo, $25 million calling your name. Let's go. There's not a team in this league that looks at Daniel Jones and goes, that's a vast improvement over what we have.
No.
He is valuable to the Giants to the tune of about $25 million. Anything more than that, kick rocks.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just go ahead and tell you, if I can't get Saquon done, I will franchise him and let Daniel Jones walk. Yeah. Are my bells distracting you?
No, they're fine. They're fine. The bells are good. They're a nice added touch.
Well, I mean, I think from now on, I've always said I want it to be a hat guy. I feel like this is a hat guy.
Old Tank and Tinkerbell. This is the new Sportsocracy.
I get called much worse in our YouTube comments.
Now, Daniel Jones is not worth that.
No.
I mean, I could understand if New York wants to keep Daniel Jones around, give him a $30 million contract over the next 2-3 years, keep him around, franchise tag Saquon Barkley. I think that's your best bet.
All right, so but here's my question. All right, if you're the Giants, and this is a report that it's everywhere, it's not just coming out of thin air.
Mm-hmm.
He's firing his representation because the negotiations got off to a rockier start. If you're the Giants, who am I bidding? I will never bid against myself, ever, because that is a losing proposition. There's nobody else out there. I saw somebody in YouTube comment said Tampa Bay. Why?
Yeah, I doubt.
Is Daniel Jones legitimately in that offense markedly better than Blaine Gabbert? The answer is no.
No.
He works with Brian Daboll. That's the only coach I've ever seen get the best out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, he is a fumble-prone, turnover-prone, mediocre quarterback in this league. So, I mean, it's great that you want that much money. I don't know who it is you think is going to give you that. And we have seen time and time and time again when you overpay quarterbacks. I feel like the Giants have a good roster, and they're in a division that I would argue every team in it -1 is going to regress.
Mm-hmm.
The Dallas Cowboys will take a step back. The Philadelphia Eagles roster will not be as good as it was, and they lost both their coordinators.
Mm-hmm.
You're in the honey hole here. And my question would be, if the New York Giants came to him with a 5-year deal, $125 million, $65 guaranteed, would he say yes or no?
I think he'd say no.
All right, and if you said no, I'm going to cling to that and say, you go beat that somewhere else.
Yep. Make him prove it.
Go beat that somewhere else.
Make him prove that he can get it somewhere else.
Because I can't for the life of me figure out who that team is. You don't have a ton of teams that are clamoring for cap space because this is not a great set of free agents.
Mm-hmm.
And I can argue quarterback is probably the best position. Because not only do you have Daniel Jones, you got Lamar Jackson that we still got to figure out what's going to happen there.
Yeah.
Derek Carr is readily available to anybody that wants him.
Mm-hmm.
Geno Smith is not tied up with Seattle. Jimmy Garoppolo, I could keep doing this. There are about 9 starting level quarterbacks out there.
Okay.
And if you're the Giants, are you, and I'm just looking at my personal quarterback rankings, are you drastically worse with Sam Darnold than you are with Daniel Jones?
Not drastically, no.
Well, I can get Sam Darnold for $10 million, and he will literally trip over himself to sign that deal.
Right.
So that's what I'm going to do, and they're the same age.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're, in large part, the same quarterback.
Yep.
So why on earth would I want $40 million. Well, I would like to be 4 inches taller and play center for the Knicks, but I don't. Because that's not what my worth is.
No. But I'm not using the franchise tag on.
I'm okay if you use the franchise, but you got to get Saquon done first because I'll argue he's more important to that team than Daniel Jones is.
Absolutely.
It's the only team in the NFL that I think your running back is more important than the quarterback.
Mm-hmm. I think Saquon's where you start.
No doubt. My goal is to get him locked up, and I don't say that with running backs very often. I want to get him locked up for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
That is who I am starting my offense.
4 at 40, 4 at 50.
I would say Saquon probably gets somewhere in the neighborhood of 4 at 60. I think he's about $15 million a year.
Okay.
Because he's in that Christian McCaffrey mold of I am as good a receiver as I am a running back. So he's going to get that high-level money. And I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
If you told me I had to pay $15 million a year for Saquon Barkley or $35 million a year for Daniel Jones, that's not even a starter for me.
Right.
It is no doubt I will pay Saquon and I will figure it out.
The franchise tag is just over $10 million for running backs. It's over 32, almost 32 and a half for quarterbacks. I'm using the franchise tag on Saquon. Take my chances with Daniel Jones because, like you said, I don't think there's a market.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing. You remember as a kid playing musical chairs?
Mm-hmm.
All right, you got 9 people circling 8 chairs. Somebody's going to get left out.
Yep.
If Daniel Jones is not careful, he'll be the one that gets left out because he's the most expensive. You had one good year. The Giants are your market. There is not another market for you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been the reason it's been assumed that he would go back to New York is because every other person that's done this, just like me, goes, who's he the fallback for?
Right. Atlanta. Running quarterback.
I think they would roll with Desmond Ridder before they paid Daniel Jones. I know Atlanta will be in on Lamar Jackson, but that's a drastic improvement.
But everybody will. I mean, when Lamar
he's
Jackson,
not going to hit the market, but if he did.
That's what I'm saying. If Lamar Jackson were to hit the open market, like, of course, everybody that needs a quarterback is going to be in on Lamar. It's not too many people going to be on the horn beating down your door trying to get Daniel Jones.
Well, I just can't figure out who does he even win the press conference for any team?
No.
I mean, if the New Orleans Saints sign Daniel Jones right now, do you think people are going to be rocking their Mardi Gras hats like the sweet one on my head right now?
No.
No, they're going to walk away and go, well, it's seventh best again.
Mm-hmm.
We got our L option. Awesome. The Jets. I'll go ahead and tell you, I'm a lifelong Jets fan. The New York media would break making fun of them. Oh, you said you're after a veteran quarterback. You got Daniel Jones. Jets gonna jet. I can see the headline now.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's already. I mean, he already gets booed in New York.
Mm-hmm.
He can't.
And he had a good year.
You
come back and it's just a joke to me. And if I'm the Giants, I'm gonna call their bluff.
Mm-hmm.
I will 100% call your bluff because there's nobody out there. Now, there's a slew of other quarterbacks on this market that are gonna have we'll say a pretty robust one, including one he's been in New York over the weekend. And I may or may not have been told something by a little birdie. It has something to do with that quarterback in New York.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelley Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
The Ingles 2023 Southern Conference Downtown Dribble and Kids Fest, presented by Champion Credit Union, will be held Saturday, March 4th, 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. at the Roger McGuire Greene at Peck Square Park. The Downtown Dribble will feature interactive games, inflatables, pep bands, cheerleaders, and parade. Each participant will receive a basketball, Downtown Dribble t-shirt, and a ticket to the noon session quarterfinal basketball games. Check-in will begin at 9:30 a.m. at Roger McGuire Greene. To register, visit downtowndribble.eventbrite.com.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Josh, quote, "After walking around my whole life being a mouth breather, I was excited to try Navage. I read the directions carefully, pressed the button, and oh my gosh, what a sensation. So much mucus, so much crud, but oh sweet, merciful air, I can finally breathe you through my nose. Never have I ever taken such an amazing breath in my life. This is a life changer," unquote. He's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else, and we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively. Across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. Get started today at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Meet Joe A,
Hi.
Joe B,
Hello.
and Joe C.
What's up?
3 everyday Joes perfecting their banking with Chase. Joe A's locking his lost debit card with the Chase mobile app. Joe B is cruising toward his new ride with AutoSave. And Joe C's Chase banker is helping him budget to go back to school. Tools that help protect, support for what's next. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Messaging and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
The Sportsocracy.
Pull up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
One for you, one for me. First day back from vacation, back to the basics.
A little rocky start here.
Turn the music on, turn the mics on.
That's right. That's the important part of broadcasting, is make sure that the microphone is on. We are going to also, just by the way, didn't mention this at the top of the program, we're going to be joined at 4 o'clock by sports freak Brian Hall. Play-by-play announcer of the UNC Asheville Bulldogs, because we had a championship won over the weekend.
We will also be joined by the guy that won that championship.
That's right. Mike Morrell, the head coach of the UNC Asheville Bulldogs, will join us at 4 o'clock as we will celebrate the Big South regular season championship. Drew Pember and the rest of the Bulldogs, they punched a ticket into postseason play. Got the NIT. Now it's time to win the tournament. Or you just
win the conference tournament, and then it matters.
That's right. You'll have all the coverage of the Big South Conference tournament right here on the your home for UNC Asheville Bulldogs basketball, 570 WWNC and ESPN Asheville. All right, that coming up at 4 o'clock. But we're talking football. We're talking franchise tags and free agent markets and all of that. Look, we've got a pretty robust, as Jeremy put it, group of quarterbacks that are available in this offseason. Lamar Jackson will not hit the open market.
No, but from everything I've heard, they're at least willing to listen to the offer. If you bring along the Godfather offer, they're willing to listen. As are the Chicago Bears with Justin Fields.
Mm-hmm.
Not actively pursuing it. I get dinged on that quite often.
Make me an offer I can't refuse.
You know, if you call, I will pick up the phone, and whatever you say is on you.
Mm-hmm. If you want to come at me with 3 ones for Justin Fields, I guess we'll have to talk about that. I mean, I think they should be actively finding a trade partner, but
Atlanta Falcons, number 8. Let's go.
That's just me. Obviously in the ranking of free agents, Lamar's number 1, but I see zero shot of teams having a chance to get at him. I mean, do you see them using one of these other tags on him, like the transition tag?
No. It'll be the exclusive franchise tag.
Yeah.
Then it gets into, but I think there's a 1B.
Okay.
In Derek Carr. And I'm going to go out on a limb here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of noise around Aaron Rodgers right now, especially for somebody that hasn't spoken in a week.
Mm-hmm.
The Packers are allegedly disgusted with Aaron Rodgers and ready to move on. Who wants you to know that?
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers is not in contact with anyone right now. He's in a darkness retreat, and he is unreachable.
Okay, Aaron Rodgers' agent.
I don't agree with you.
Really?
I think it's Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
I think it's the Green Bay Packers because the timing was really convenient. Derek Carr was in New York over the weekend, reportedly had a phenomenal meeting with the New York Jets. That's from his brother,
mm-hmm.
which I think is a pretty good source.
Mm-hmm.
And there's part of me that thinks the Green Bay Packers are floating this, going, hey, you haven't actually made an offer yet. So we can agree to the trade compensation, and then, when we find out whether he's going to play or not, maybe just hold off on Derek Carr. Maybe just don't make that decision yet.
But I don't see much. I don't see much chance of that happening. Of the Jets going and getting Derek Carr without knowing what Aaron's going to do.
Well, it's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword. Derek has gotten out of New York.
Mm-hmm.
I think he would accept the offer if you gave it right now.
Yes.
And I know I have a top 12 quarterback in the NFL. I can wait and hope I have a top 6
mm-hmm.
in the NFL quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to cost me the 13th pick in the draft. Derek Carr costs you absolutely nothing. And a little birdie told me that there is a part of this where the Jets are looking at it going, well, we're not a finished product yet. We've done a really good job in the draft. And if there's a quarterback we don't have to give up a first-round pick for, that's a little bit more attractive.
Okay, so are you going to give Derek Carr $42 million to come be your quarterback?
I'd do it right now. I wouldn't think about it.
Okay.
I wouldn't think about it twice. I mean, yes, I would prefer Aaron Rodgers. I don't know that that's close. But you also got to add up the headache. There's no headache with Derek Carr. I mean, yeah, he's not elite when it comes to tight window throws. He hasn't historically played great in cold weather. Mm-hmm. He also hasn't played in cold weather that many times. You know, we throw that stat out there of, oh, he's been so bad in the cold. It's only like 16 games in his career.
Right.
His home games have been in California and Las Vegas in a dome. Oh, so he doesn't play well on the road. Okay. There's a lot of quarterbacks that fall into that. And from everything I've been told, the Jets are seriously considering, maybe we just do the Derek Carr thing right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, it's the better long-term solution, obviously.
Well, Derek's almost 32 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You get probably 5 prime years out of him. At best, you get 2 out of Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
This is not a 2-year window team. And that's what I'm hearing more of around the Jets is that, okay, so let's say we do the Aaron Rodgers thing.
Mm-hmm.
2 years from now, we're in the exact same position. We're in the exact same position. Or we make a run at Derek Carr, maybe somebody he knows pretty well from his division that happens to know the current offensive coordinator of the New York Jets, a guy by the name of Cortland Sutton.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a little birdie told me.
Really?
In a deal that could ultimately send Zach Wilson to Denver.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. It's just a little rumor, just a little birdie.
What else are you giving up?
Oh, I think it was Zach Wilson and Cortland, or Denzel Mims for Cortland Sutton and a draft pick. Ian, do it right now. Don't think about it. Sign Derek Carr. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm looking at offense going, all right, I got to fix the offensive line. I still got the 13th pick to do that.
Yep.
Still got Mekhi Becton that's a nice little wild card.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure that you're not in better shape that way. And I feel like there are a few teams that have poked around Aaron Rodgers that are getting the same thing. There's just so much noise coming from a guy that doesn't have access to anybody. There's no opinion coming out of Aaron Rodgers in the last week because nobody's talked to him.
Right.
So where's all this new information coming from? It's because somebody wants you to know. I firmly believe the Green Bay Packers want Aaron Rodgers out more than Aaron Rodgers wants to be out. Which makes me think there is a grand possibility that he just goes, you know what? I'm done. I want to go hang out in the woods and do recreational things and surf and be weird. Let's go.
Well, that definitely is going to be more of an opportunity or more of an intrigue for him if nobody's there to pick up the tab, right? I mean, I mean,
if Aaron Rodgers is readily available, somebody's going to pick up the tab. It's just a question of, is it where you want to go?
That's what I would think. But
I'm not so sure Aaron Rodgers is as in love with the New York thing as we are for him. I'm not sure he loves that because you're going to the AFC, which would be daunting. You got a lot of teams to get through.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure he doesn't look at Green Bay and go, this is my best chance to win, but I'm not sure that I haven't burned this bridge. Because I feel like they're going Jordan Love no matter what.
Right.
No matter what Aaron Rodgers says, do you want to play? Cool, you'll play somewhere else.
But after that, I mean, after you've been through all of this, that may be your only choice is to just call it quits and retire.
And that's very possible.
Because maybe you have burned the bridge with Green Bay. All right, so you don't want to. So let's say the AFC thing is a big linchpin in this decision. Okay, now what are you going to do? Now your option is Atlanta, or Atlanta. Because I don't see New Orleans being able to pick you up.
Who are you talking about here?
Aaron Rodgers. I don't see Tampa Bay couldn't do that.
No, they could. Tampa makes more sense than a lot of these other places do.
How are you going to make the money work, though?
That's the problem. Well, Tampa Bay is in a closing window. The Jets aren't.
Mm-hmm.
That's the part of that that's never made any sense to me. You're going to make this decision for the next 2 years. You have a 10-year window roster. That's where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
You hit 3 home runs last year in the draft. A 4th that could be, which didn't seem play enough. Why are you doing this for 2 years? And now the fact that the Jets were so unabashed about their visit with Derek Carr,
mm-hmm.
I don't know how much you know about New York. The restaurant they were in is probably, if you were trying to hide, that's probably the worst place you could possibly have gone. You know reporters are there because they take players there all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted you to know they were talking to Derek Carr.
Of course.
And I feel like David Carr coming out and saying what he's saying is because he's trying to push the Jets along. Because I think that's where Derek Carr wants to be. I think he looks at that is a legit window for me. A Divine Comedy said calling Derek Carr 1B to Lamar, only unanimous MVP ever. Jackson, just because Carr's an option for the Jets. No, I've long said Derek Carr he's probably the highest end option that will actually move.
Mm-hmm.
He's a 1B to Lamar because there's about a 2% chance he's not in Baltimore. I mean, if you want me to be honest, Derek Carr's the one because I don't really consider Lamar Jackson to be an option.
Right.
And I don't really consider Aaron Rodgers to be an option because he holds all of the cards. When you got somebody you don't have a play against him. It's the same thing that the Raiders ran into with Derek Carr. You've got a no trade clause. I got no play on you. You will do what you want to do, and I have no say in that. So it just depends on how desperate you are. There are certain teams that I think are wildly desperate. New York Jets are one of them, which is why you would pony up $40 million for Derek Carr.
Mm-hmm.
I've long said I think he's the most disrespected quarterback in the NFL.
Yes.
Because he's been with a dumpster fire franchise. Sorry, Raider fans, you know I'm right.
Right.
He's got no support. Think about how much tumult they went through in 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason all of these teams are interested in him, and it's not just because he's the one that they can talk to right now. He has more of a market than any of these other guys will have.
Yes.
He is younger, turns 32, I think, in a week or two.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, it's going to be expensive, but it doesn't cost you anything in draft capital. It's very rare that you can get a quarterback like this for nothing. And that's where they're at with Carr.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. When we come back,
I've discovered a new sport.
Oh,
my outside story is about a new sport, and now all I want to do is take more vacation and go play it.
Yes.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Taste of April in the February forecast. We're talking some upper 70s and busting records here in Asheville for Thursday ahead. It's been a beautiful day today. 50 degrees our low tonight. Morning clouds Wednesday. Afternoon sunshine. We're at 75 degrees. Even warmer on Thursday. 78 degrees in the valley, and I think we'll push past daily records. Rain showers cooler Friday and Saturday. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. The new Crispy Melt Taco is now at Taco Bell. It's a freshly fried shell with a melty cheese blend and your choice of seasoned beef or black beans inside. Try it today at participating Taco Bell locations for a limited time only, while supplies last. Contact local stores for prices, hours, and participation which vary. Tax extra.
Mom, Dad, let's talk. Before you know it, I'm out of here. I want to go to college. Or start a business. My allowance ain't gonna cut it. Ooh, sorry I said ain't.
The UNest app puts smart investing tools right in the palm of your hand. And with the UNest gifting link, friends and family can contribute to your child's account. Start investing today. Download the UNest app from the App Store or Google Play. See terms and conditions at unest.co. That's UNEST.co.
Searching for fun ways to spend your tax return? Boats for cats. Oh, flotation devices for cats. Don't waste it all on something silly. Spend smarter with Straight Talk. Get our Silver Unlimited plan for $45 a month with unlimited high-speed data and with nationwide 5G. Plus, get a Samsung A13 5G for only $99.99, down from $149. If you're looking to get the most out of your refund, your search ends here. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See latest terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
For more information about contests on the station, log on to espnavl.com.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy. It is ESPN Asheville, and Sunday, what a Sunday. The Daytona 500 this past weekend.
How many cars finished that race? About 6?
Yeah, something like that. Something like that.
From now on, can we just run Daytona until there's only one car left running? Because that seems to be what it actually is.
Yeah, pretty much. And I knew it. I knew it was going to come down to that. When Kyle Busch took the lead in the Daytona 500 with 3 laps to go, I went, here it comes. Just watch.
And then it did.
And I went, oh, great. Here's a caution so Joey Logano can come in here and steal the damn race. And he almost did.
You're close.
That was my – as soon as it happened, I said that to my wife in the car. Joey Logano is going to steal this race. And he almost did. But Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is your Daytona 500
The
champion.
former Mr. Danica Patrick. Let's go.
That's right. It was the longest Daytona 500 race in history. 212 laps long. And it didn't even come to fruition. You had the white flag came out, then there was a caution that took out half the field, and at that point, second overtime, you take the white flag, the field freezes, and we name the winner.
Can we stop doing overtime in NASCAR? That is the stupidest thing ever.
I'm gonna diskagree with you because
at super speedways, it is absolutely ridiculous. Because all you're doing is, hey, you know that $1 million car you're in? We're about to tear that up real good.
I mean, you were gonna do that anyway. If
the race just ends on that caution, how many of those cars don't go back absolutely destroyed? It's a lot.
You can't do that.
100% you can do that.
No.
You did it for 50 years.
No,
you did it for 50 years. Why can you not continue to do
Don't
that?
like it. Don't like it. The race should not end on a caution.
A race can end because it starts raining, and you're upset that, well, we got 1 lap to go, and then everybody, you got the 1 lap to go. It's in the title. 1 lap to go.
1 lap to
Not
go.
1 lap, but maybe 11.
Maybe 3 more.
But maybe 11 if we just keep wrecking each other.
Right. You had to have the green-white checkered finish due to the overtime rules. And, yes, in the end, it was Ricky Stenhouse Jr. coming away with the title. Now, I mentioned that because Ricky Stenhouse Jr., I've never really been a big fan. I mean, he was always just the guy who dated Danica Patrick. And then
that's actually the only thing I ever knew about him.
Right. He was one of those, oh, gross, it's Ricky Stenhouse Jr. How's he going to screw this up kind of guys? First time in 199 races, he wins, and he celebrates like a freaking champ.
At the Waffle House.
At the Waffle House. He took the trophy. Well, it was the replica trophy. It was the actual trophy, but it's the one that they give the driver to take home with him. He took the trophy to Waffle House after winning the Daytona 500 and what is described as several hours of partying at the track. And then at, 3 o'clock in the morning, goes to Waffle House to enjoy whatever meal.
So basically,
and that's my question. What is the championship meal at the Waffle House?
17 cheeseburgers. Let's go.
Yeah, I think that's
I did
something
that
only
once.
you did.
Yeah, I did that once.
And you should never repeat.
It's also probably why my heart hurts about 6 days out of the week.
Yes. Your heart doesn't go thump, thump. It goes,
You're not wrong. I heard no lies there.
After 17
So basically what you're
cheeseburgers.
telling me is that Ricky Stenhouse did what many of us do. Consumed 40 domestic lights and went, are you hungry? Let's go to the Waffle House.
And he went to the Waffle House.
You drive. I shouldn't.
I'm a big fan of the patty melt. I think that's the way to go when you go to the Waffle House. What's the go-to other than 17 cheeseburgers?
I actually can't answer that because I've never walked into a Waffle House without having first consumed 17 domestic lights.
So you can't remember what you've eaten
No
at any
clue.
Waffle House.
They don't have the Grand Slam. That's Denny's.
No,
right?
that's Denny's. Yeah.
What is their number one called? Everybody has a number one.
I think it's just the Waffle House special.
Bingo.
I don't think it's.
Let me guess. It comes with eggs, a breakfast meat of some kind, some hash browns, and a waffle.
And toast.
I will always say you don't need two breads, but what do I know? I do know one thing. Rob Lutz is a great American. A firefighter.
Okay.
Be good to your firefighters. They are great Americans. B, he has come up with the next great American sport. I'm going to say 3 words. You know all these words, but you've never heard them in this order.
Okay.
AR-15 golf. Let's go.
What?
So Rob Lutz is a firefighter in Nebraska, in the city of Norfolk. And they have had a slew of golf events to raise funds. So now he has come up with a new sport. 54 teams, 2 people apiece. $450 a team. They provide all of the equipment. And basically what it is, they take an actual AR-15, they take the mount off of it, they put in a different barrel, and it shoots golf balls.
This sounds like a horrible idea.
Okay, so why? Because I said the same thing until I read further into it.
Because that easily becomes you and your drunk friends shoot golf balls at each other.
Well, first of all, there's way more people that keep you from doing that. B, you cannot consume alcohol while you do it. That's very large in the rules, which immediately made me go, okay, I now like this exactly 1/3 as much as I did previously.
For the rules of what?
Well, of this tournament.
Oh,
I mean, it's the only place you can do it right now.
Okay.
Go search this on Google. Trust me, there's not a lot of...
there's not a lot of places that'll let you do this.
No, but there is a website that sells the golf ball launcher, and I may or may not have everything else you need to play this game. What are you, a cop?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
That's not illegal.
No.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No. And who shot?
Now, taking it to Broadmoor or something to try to play it, that would be an adventure.
So apparently the rules are, it's just like golf. You take the you play it where it lies.
Okay.
The greens are not the greens. So this is apparently played on a golf course. They take another section of green and basically spray paint it. And so when you get within, I guess, 50 feet of it, that's your approach shot. Whoever's closest wins the hole, and you go on about your merry way.
Huh.
I want to play this so bad.
Yes.
So bad. I would literally just I gotta go if somebody said, "Hey, we can go play this right now."
I feel like we could play this right now.
You also can buy the launcher thing for the low price of just $29.99.
We have a lot of property outside the studio here. And I feel like
I hadn't thought of that.
I feel like there is some sort of an AR-15 golf course that we could come up with.
You already made the sales stuff trying to sell it.
I'm just saying, we've got cameras, we've got equipment, we've got apparently all of the tools to play said game with. So maybe
already in my cart, already ordered. Let's go.
I feel like AR-15 golf might be the brand new pastime of the sportsocracy.
Absolutely. And I may be the Tiger Woods of this game. I will certainly be better at this than I am at real golf. You take that for what it's worth.
I feel like this is even a game. This isn't even a golf game that I can play. I feel good about that.
Yeah. I think this is a game where Tank hurts himself, but that's...
Were you trying to say I can't shoot a gun?
No, just that one specifically.
Just that one specifically.
Yeah.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. So we got Lamar Jackson not going to hit the open market. We don't believe. Baltimore will take care of that somehow, some way. They will either franchise tag him, exclusive franchise tag, or they will work out some kind of a long-term deal. You got Derek Carr, who can be had right now for the low price of $42.5 million.
$42 million.
Daniel Jones, who we've talked about, that should be a chicken game. New York Giants should stare him in the face and go, prove us wrong.
Well, and it's ironic you say that because our first Super Chat of the day, this is what makes us different than other shows, because you can just, for the low price of whatever the Super Chat costs, whatever you want to do.
I'm your huckleberry.
That's from our buddy Matt. Not a lot of noise around this team, but what about Trey Lance? Do you think the 49ers would trade him this year? Absolutely, unequivocally, no.
No.
They are going to take the two of them into camp. You don't know what Brock Purdy is. You don't know what the medical is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
There's a possibility he misses the first 2 months of the season. You trade Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo walks away, and it gets C.J. beat hard very quickly, or Nick Mullins,
they
or
won't be doing that.
Whatever the wherever it goes.
I hear Kyle Slaughter's having a tough time finding playing time with the Arlington Renegades.
Or Paxton Lynch.
Maybe he can.
First player ever to be benched in the NFL, CFL, USFL, and XFL.
Nice.
That's actually a true stat. You can win a domestic light at the bar with your buddies with that one.
Yeah. Daniel Jones, they need to play that game, play that staring game with him. Jimmy G will go somewhere. I just don't know where.
New Orleans Saints.
You think that's
I said
it
it last year. I'm going to say it again this year.
Okay.
Because that is where he makes the most sense. He makes the most sense with the Raiders. I said there was going to be a quarterback in this game of musical chairs that winds up left out.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's going to be a team left out too, and it screams the Raiders. I'm just not sure quarterbacks with options are going to look at that and go, yeah, I'm in. Because you have high expectations because you have Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow, Devontae Adams. You got two good edge rushers on the defense. But I'm not sure who you're actually supposed to beat.
NFL rushing leader Josh Jacobs.
Well, not yet. We'll talk about that tomorrow. You don't have him yet. I mean, we think you will. We think you will, but
you're gonna.
Would it shock you if the only first-round pick that the Raiders have hit on the last, 10 years, they just let him walk out the door?
No, it would not. And then Geno.
Oh.
Geno Smith.
Geno Smith and Daniel Jones are in the exact same. They're in the exact same boat.
You're good with the team that you were with this past year. You're not good for anybody else.
Okay, and before anybody rips me for, well, Geno Smith's good. Okay, I want you to ask yourself a question. Let's say these two called each other's. Let's say Seattle and the Giants call the bluff on their own quarterbacks. If those two quarterbacks went to the opposite coast, Daniel Jones in Seattle, Geno in New York.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about those teams? Both of them. They both made playoffs this year. How do you feel about those two teams with the other playing quarterback?
Significantly less.
There you go. They fit the schemes they're in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure that that's not the worst place to be in because you wind up bidding against yourself. Geno Smith has a lot of value to the Seattle Seahawks. He has no value to the Giants. He's already been there.
Mm-hmm.
He has no value to any of these other quarterback-needy teams. So what do you pay him? Geno Smith's 32 years old. He's had one good season in this league ever. Had a couple fill-in starts for Russell Wilson the year before. Do you really think anybody looks at him and goes, yeah, there's our solution? Let's go pay him $30 million. That'll be great. So I feel like you're in a catch-22 that these are two smart franchises. These are two well-run franchises, as they currently sit. Take those Dave Gettleman years away from the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I not just look at these guys and go, it's $20 million. That's what I'm paying you. If you don't like it, go find it somewhere else because you're not going to.
Yep.
Draw the line in the sand. And if you know what, they do randomly find it somewhere else, you laugh, you go sign Jimmy Garoppolo, and you call it good.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. When we come back from the break, it'll be time for Jeremy's Bangers of the Night. No NBA action.
No, it's a letdown after that sweet dunk contest and that sweet All-Star game.
Yeah,
Giannis comes in and plays for 20 seconds, and he can't even bend his wrist. And LeBron James hit his hand on the rim, and he couldn't play anymore.
Wah, wah.
These guys are the NBA. These guys are doing stuff.
Jeremy's Bangers in college basketball coming up next.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
It's time to discover the convenience and time savings of contact-free pickup with Ingles Curbside. Just visit shop.ingles-markets.com or download the app. And your Ingles personal shopper gets to work with specialized training on how to select the freshest items for a pre-scheduled pickup. They'll even text you with updates. You pull up to a designated space and your personal shopper delivers your items right to your vehicle. Fresh, fast, and affordable. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Tired of getting dinged by monthly fees on your checking account? You need Simple Checking from Home Trust Bank. With Simple Checking, you get all the essential checking services for free, including 100% online access and a free Visa debit card. It's everything you need from a checking account, but no hoops, no surprises, no monthly fees. Stop by today or call 800-627-1632. Simple Checking at Home Trust. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The Ingles 2023 Southern Conference Downtown Dribble and Kids Fest, presented by Champion Credit Union, will be held Saturday, March 4th, 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. at the Roger McGuire Greene at Peck Square Park. The Downtown Dribble will feature interactive games, inflatables, pep bands, cheerleaders, and parade. Each participant will receive a basketball, Downtown Dribble t-shirt, and a ticket to the noon session quarterfinal basketball games. Check-in will begin at 9:30 a.m. at Roger McGuire Greene. To register, visit downtowndribble.eventbrite.com.
Hey, it's Nate Burleson. Check out my new podcast, The Process with Nate Burleson. It debuts with my first guest, Rihanna. Her interview was just a taste of the heat we will bring you here on The Process. I'll talk to A-list celebrities, athletes, and visionaries about their process. What steps did they take to achieve greatness? New episodes of The Process with Nate Burleson drop all year long on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you find your podcasts.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Introducing Total by Verizon, a new prepaid wireless provider with no contract plans starting at just $30 a month. With Total by Verizon, you don't have to sacrifice reliability or freedom. Get Total by Verizon and save money every month on America's most reliable 5G network. Most reliable 5G based on most first-place rankings and Root Metrics first half 2022 assessments of 125 metros. Experiences vary, not an endorsement.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Coffee's for closers only. Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power. That watch costs more than your car. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
We're back after a brief vacation, but we can't say the same for the NBA. Frankly, after the disaster that was the dunk contest and the actual All-Star game, they should probably take some time away to think about what they did. We'll call it a little NBA timeout. But we have a full slate in college basketball and plenty of bangers to make this a winning night. This is Greene on Greene, brought to you by Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings. Number 16, Xavier is a 4.5-point favorite tonight at home against Villanova. This is one of those lines that feels too good to be true. Villanova's lost their last 3 on the road and are only 2-4 against the spread on the road on the year. This is not a Jay Wright Villanova team. His replacement, Kyle Neptune, has just not been able to get any traction in his first year, and this is a squad that's really just playing out the season. Xavier is bigger. They out-rebounded Nova 35-25 in their first meeting and should be able to get anything and everything they want at the rim. On top of that, Villanova is just terrible against teams that are actually good. 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 against teams with winning records. Give me the Musketeers. I'll give the 4.5. Next, number 13, Miami is a 2.5-point dog at Virginia Tech. Okay, now you're just messing with me. What am I missing here? Miami's the best offensive team in the ACC no matter what metric you're looking at. Offensive efficiency, effective field goal percentage, three-point percentage, all of it. Conversely, Virginia Tech is one of the worst teams in the conference defensively, and they're super undisciplined. The old saying goes that good defense beats good offense. Unfortunately for Virginia Tech, they don't really qualify there, and good offense will absolutely smoke bad defense. Look for the Hurricanes to score early and often. Give me Miami. They went outright, and I'll even go over the 153. And finally, number 23, Iowa State's a 7-point dog at number 8, Texas. Over-unders 136.5. Okay, so after what I feel like are 2 layups, I'm going to go out on a limb. Texas is without a doubt the better team, and Iowa State may be missing one of its best defensive players in Caleb Grill, who's still dealing with a back issue. But these are 2 phenomenal defensive teams, and 7 feels like a lot of points in a game where I am heavy on the under. Iowa State has taken over the Clemson role of the Rodney Dangerfield of college basketball, and it seems that Vegas hasn't gotten on board either. This team could very easily end up being a second weekend contender in the tournament, and this game could go a long way in showing that. I'd still take the Horns to win, but give me Iowa State +7 and hammer the under 136.5. For more, follow us on all the social medias at the Sportsocracy. And as always, Greene on Greene is brought to you by Ingles Markets. Love the savings with Ingles. Love the winnings with me. Mull it out.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Taste of April in the February forecast. We're talking some upper 70s and busting records here in Asheville for Thursday ahead. Been a beautiful day today. 50 degrees our low tonight. Morning clouds Wednesday. Afternoon sunshine. We're at 75 degrees. Even warmer on Thursday. 78 degrees in the valley, and I think we'll push past daily records. Rain showers cooler Friday and Saturday. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Pfizer. When temperatures drop, COVID-19 cases may rise. So if you test positive and are at high risk, act fast. Even if your symptoms feel mild, ask your provider if an authorized oral treatment could be right for you. Visit treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Meet Joe A,
Hi.
Joe B,
Hello.
and Joe C.
What's up?
3 everyday Joes perfecting their banking with Chase. Joe A is locking his lost debit card with the Chase mobile app. Joe B is cruising toward his new ride with AutoSave. And Joe C's Chase banker is helping him budget to go back to school. Tools that help protect, support for what's next. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Messaging and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Over 50,000 police officers are assaulted each year. Help police by not escalating. Address any complaints after the encounter. Comply now, complain later. Keep everybody safe. This message brought to you by the National Police Association. Learn more at nationalpolice.org.
Dell Technologies President's Day business event starts now with savings on select performance PCs powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors, plus savings on essential accessories and free shipping. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
Only
iHeartRadio gives you access to all.
iHeartRadio.
Access to all of your favorite radio stations.
It's Ryan Seacrest.
I go by the name of Charlamagne the God.
Hi, I'm Ellen K.
Bobby Bones here.
Hola, soy Enrique Santos.
Access to all of the best free curated playlists.
My favorite music. The best songs.
A little bit of everything.
Access to all of the great podcasts for every interest.
The Stuff You Should Know podcast.
The Daily Show podcast.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
And best of all, it doesn't cost a thing. Download the absolutely free iHeartRadio app now.
The Sportsocracy.
Who we got to cheer for on Sundays now?
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The NFL's franchise tag window is open, and some huge names could be tagged, like Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson. Baltimore can use the exclusive or non-exclusive tag on him as they try to work out a long-term contract. What the Ravens do with the former NFL MVP is a big deal, explains ESPN NFL reporter Jeff Darlington.
They could put on one of two tags, the exclusive or the non-exclusive. I do expect the Ravens to tag Lamar Jackson, but we need to be very clear about this. That does not mean necessarily that he will play on that tag in 2023. Instead, that is a stopgap to work toward a long-term extension.
The franchise tag window ends on March 7th. NBA Nets coach Jacques Vaughn agreed to a multi-year extension. The deal is expected to keep him under contract through the 2026-2027 season, reports ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. Bulls guard Lonzo Ball will miss the rest of the season as he continues to experience discomfort in his knee during basketball activities, despite arthroscopic knee surgery before the season. NHL Avs star defenseman Cale Makar back in concussion protocol, out at least the next 2 games.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. They're close, convenient, and have the parts you need fast, along with excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy, presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
It is the Sportsocracy, and it is ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. And, of course, Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat each and every afternoon. And, all right, so we had a championship that was clinched over the weekend. Joining us in studio now is the voice of the UNC Asheville Bulldogs, Brian Hall.
Let me just say it's great to be on the Tank and Tinkerbell show.
The Tank and Tinkerbell show.
I feel very lucky, and the fact that, the Joker's here. He's the worst nightmare I've seen in like a Batman movie. So I know it's Fat Tuesday. You're celebrating, but wow, Jeremy. Heck of an outfit.
If we ever go to mornings, I want us to name the show Tank and Tinkerbell.
It should be.
Absolutely.
It should
Absolutely.
be.
We can make that happen. But Brian, so this past weekend on Saturday, UNC Asheville Bulldogs getting another win. It was, dare I say, a great day to be a Bulldog.
Yes, I've quoted you many times, 75-63. As a matter of fact, and Coach Morrell is going to join us right now. I think that I have said it's a great day to be a Bulldog, or you have said it during the broadcast at every home game, because we like saying that after every win. And the Bulldogs are undefeated at home, and Coach is here now. And Coach, you got one more home game tomorrow night, and I know it's against your good buddy Barclay Radeball and Charleston Southern. But again, congratulations on wrapping up that regular season title on Saturday, my friend.
Hey, guys, I appreciate you having me on. It was a great weekend to be a Bulldog, and while we still got a lot of things yet to accomplish. Sorry, I'm walking through the gym here trying to get to the office, but it was nonetheless, a really special Saturday for our program, and not only our program but our entire university. It was a great crowd here, and it was a lot of fun. So obviously we took a day to enjoy it and now we're moving on to the next one.
Well, we couldn't have it on Sports Fix last night because we were off for the holiday, but I wanted to crash these guys and hop on this show because, Coach, you might not know this, but, Tank and Jeremy, they split the duty all season long of producing our games, okay? So they've been back here making the magic happen while we're on the air calling the games and talking to you in the post game. And so I wanted them just to have, a little bit of a celebration time with you to sort of, appreciate where we are. These are the guys that have been there listening the whole time and enjoying it. And I know we got work to do, but it's good to have all of us together here talking, amongst the foursome. And speaking of foursomes, maybe we can all do this when the season's over on the golf course. Mike Morrell, I think, would like that.
I'm all the way in.
Yeah. Any excuse to get out there, especially when I'm sitting here looking out my window right now and it looks to be about 65 and sunny out. You could definitely get in 9 or maybe even a quick 18 before the sun goes down. So
yes,
I'm with that.
No doubt, no doubt.
And I can drive the cart. I'm not a big golfer, but I'll drive the cart. I'll do that.
All right. As long as you have the cold ones, in the cooler for us too. So, that's the important thing. That's the important thing.
Coach Morrell, we've been doing UNC Asheville basketball here at iHeartRadio for
12 years.
For many years.
12 years.
Has it been 12 years?
This is the 12th season. Yes.
Wow. So we've been doing it many years, obviously, since the start of your tenure with UNC Asheville. Talk about how you've built this program into being, not the greatest of teams the first couple of years, and then now just working through the transfer portal and making this team into the regular season champions and the overall favorite to take home the title in Charlotte.
Yeah, I mean, it was, I was actually just on a Zoom with Drew Pember. They're doing something with the Charlotte Observer, leading up to the conference tournament down there. And it was like I was just telling them, we've gotten better each year. We had a really good team last year, and we had some really close losses, which I think really built the foundation for this year. But those first couple years were tough. There's no doubt about it. Like I told them, you don't leave University of Texas and one of the best coaches in the country and Shaka Smart to come here and win 4 games. Mm-hmm. But that's the situation in which we were in. I tell people this all the time. We weren't in that situation because anybody did anything wrong, which, that's usually what you see with rebuilds. Something's went awry or something's happened or whatever. In actuality, what happened here was there was just a ton of winning that went on with Coach B and most recently Nick and those guys. Nick got another opportunity to move on, and the transfer portal wasn't the transfer portal at that time. It was 2018. If you transferred, you had to sit out. And so, it wasn't a quick fix thing. We had 10 scholarships. We brought in 8 freshmen. And we started, sometimes that year, 5 freshmen. And so, but I really think that built a ton of character. And then the one constant here, through all of that has been Tajon Jones. And, I've been very, very fortunate to have a guy like him who stuck with me the whole time. Who's got a chance to leave here, the all-time leading scorer. And then, like you alluded to, once the transfer portal came open, I think we did a really good job in recruiting with guys like Trent Stephanie and Doc Battle out of high school. And then we added the Drew Pembers and the Fletcher Avies, and we got incrementally better. And, I thought we were good enough to win it last year. And we didn't get the job done, and then to come into this year and clinch the title with 2 games left, I think speaks to our players and just how resilient they've been throughout the year. And we got a chance to. There's still a lot of things to accomplish. Brian alluded to we got a chance to be one of the few teams in the country to go undefeated at home. We got a chance to break the school record for wins here, so there's a lot to do. And then obviously the big caveat out there is chance to play in the NCAA tournament. So, it's not been easy, that's for sure, but I've really, really been supported well here, all the way from Janet Cohn to people like Brian who have kind of stuck with us and continued to sing the UNC Asheville song when, there were some days where it was tough.
Yeah. Yeah. I look, coming from where we were, and you were right, that team last year was good enough to win it all. The problem is, like you said, the close losses and the disappointing ending of the season in the first round of the tournament was heartbreaking, to say the least. But now that you've got this team as a winner, regular season champion, there's postseason play coming. You got 2 games left in the regular season, and then it's time to buckle it down and win, 4 in Charlotte?
3
in Charlotte.
Yep. And we're heading into it, Coach, with the Player of the Week, Drew Pember, named Player of the Week again.
Scratch that, Player of the Year.
Well, we know that, yes. Well, that's a given, but this week's Player of the Week, again, is Drew Pember. And so he had, great performances up at Radford on Thursday night and then against Gardner-Webb on Saturday as well. And, so congrats to him. And then we're sitting here with Tajon knocking on the door. He's got 37 more points to go to become the all-time leading scorer. And so there's so many cool things that are happening. So now I want to ask you this, Mike. 2 games left. We're in a luxury position, okay? And I'm just going to toss this out there as my guess. But I'm curious, as a coach, what you think, where your head is with these last 2 games, because a lot of coaches have different philosophies. My personal hunch is that we're going all out to win tomorrow night to finish the season undefeated at Kimmel and to win this game. And then maybe on Saturday, the starters play the first half at Longwood and, hoping for nothing, no injuries or anything beyond that, and that we get ready and go down to Charlotte after that. Am I correct in the thinking, or am I close?
No, you're not. No.
Okay, all right, there we go.
We're not low.
No, I mean, you get. Brian, you get 31 of these things, man. You get 31 of these opportunities to go out and play, and we've achieved a goal. This is not the NFL. We're not going to not start our quarterback because we've clinched home field advantage. We're going to get better. We did the same thing yesterday. We did the same thing today that we've done every Monday and Tuesday this season, and we're going to go out tomorrow. And while we'll be the favorite here at home, we have a great understanding that if we don't play well, we won't win. And so I'm not looking to go into the Big South tournament and with any more than 7 losses. And so we're not going to we're going to play to win the game, man. And because if we don't, then we're not going to be at our best come the time that we need to be our best. That's just not how basketball works. And it's critical that we have a really good week and in terms of our practice and our preparation and getting ready for Charlotte, because while it doesn't seem like it will be, Friday will be here extremely quickly next week.
Yeah, no doubt. Mike Morrell is here on the Tank and Tinkerbell show on ESPN Asheville. And, hey, just curious, what has been the outpouring of affection towards you, since Saturday? You've been getting a lot of texts and phone calls and everybody, hitting you up?
Yeah, I have, and very appreciative of it. Obviously, I think a lot of people, as you all do, understand that this wasn't an overnight thing. I think a lot of people are very proud of what we've been able to accomplish, and but it's an extremely fine line in terms of the noise that you want to allow into your locker room. It's like I told the guys the other day, like they're gonna move a banner up there. There's a banner going up there. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's now we got to decide if we get an opportunity to put another one up there. And so, again, it's I'm very appreciative of the support that we've gotten, here within the community. And Brian, you know this. We've had a lot of Saturdays where it was a sparse crowd out there in Kimmel, and that was not the case on Saturday.
That was a great crowd,
which was really, really special to see. And and which goes back to like, hey, we're going to go up to Longwood on Saturday night, and there's not going to be an empty seat in the entire house. And so my guys are going to relish the opportunity to get a chance to play. And so, we're going to do our best and continue to try to get better. But no, that part has been cool, but also, there's a time limit on that, as you know, and we're on to trying to find a way to beat Charleston Southern tomorrow now.
I thought going back to Saturday's game, we got everybody got caught up. Obviously, we're cutting down the nets, we're celebrating. But I want to give a shout out on air to Doc Battle. He was phenomenal in that ball game. It was a 1-point game at the half. And, Coach, the energy that he brought in off the bench, I think he ended up with 16 all in the second half. And the way he attacked the basket was relentless. And it was just I felt like he came in there and made a statement that we're going to win this thing and we're going to lock this down. And he did it with an exclamation point.
Yeah, he was really good. And he's obviously been one of those key cogs that have helped us, over the years get to this point in his fourth year, which, if I were to look at Fletcher Abey and Nick McMullen and tell them, hey, we're going to rest you guys, they wouldn't let me. They ain't going for that. Like, good luck telling Fletcher Abey you ain't playing today.
Yeah.
Like that ain't going to go over well. And so, and he's going to make Drew play. Drew won't have a choice. So I don't have, even if I wanted to do that, Brian, my guys wouldn't go for it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Doc has really, as you alluded to, been one of those guys on our team that has accepted, whatever role we ask him to. And teams guard him differently in terms of certain things. And then to go out Saturday in the second half and just, Nick was in foul trouble. So Doc got a few more minutes, probably than he regularly would have there in the second half. And he made the best of it. And he's just a kid playing with a lot of joy right now. So that was really cool to see. And, he, Trent, Tajon, those three especially, they were here in that second year too when we went from 4 to 15, and all three of those guys just had a huge part in that. Trent was our sixth man on that team that went from 4 to 15, and
yeah.
I tell you, that was a cool thing for me, and this is Cody Jude was there.
Yes,
and I got to hang out with Cody because you talk about guys who aren't on our team now that helped us get here. None were more important than him. So that was really cool too.
No doubt. By the way, do you know who Mike Ashley is? He writes for Blue Ribbon.
Yeah, sure. I know Mike. Yeah.
So he and I are going to split the Nostradamus Award for the 2023 basketball season because we were the only two that correctly predicted in the preseason poll UNC Asheville would win the regular season. So I don't know what that looks like. I'm hoping that he's going to come down and cover the tournament, and maybe we'll have some Colwins, after a game, after the first games on Friday. But so it was very cool to know that we were the only two, and then we ended up picked third. But I just had this feeling. After I saw those additions, and we were so close last year. So that was a cool thing to see. But Mike, last thing before we let you go, brother. Did you watch any of the Genesis golf over the weekend?
No, but here's what I did do. I've started the Netflix series Full Swing.
Yes.
And so I watched some of that, and I just Saturday night, I was like, hey, I'm not watching any basketball when I got home. I got home probably a little bit past 9 or so. I don't sleep well after games anyway. And wouldn't you know, I watched 4 of those dang episodes. I was up to like 3 in the morning watching that thing. And I'm just like, man, I'd rather watch golf than anything.
Yeah.
So, and you know that, Brian. You know how much I love it. So I'm watching that right now, and I wish I wouldn't have started it because I think I got 2 episodes left, and obviously I'm erring on the side of watching a ton of film right now, but I'm not going to lie, man. I'm going to find me an hour to watch me an episode later this evening.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard good things about it.
It's good. It's good.
Now, would you recommend it too? Because that's something that usually my wife and I watch the TV together at night, but I understand that if you're not a golf fan, you would still appreciate this. Would you?
No, you would.
Okay.
I think you would because they do a good job of telling the story, like the Joel Damon episode. She'll love it. She really will. She'll love it. I would encourage you to do that. The first episode is about Spieth and about Justin Thomas, their friendship and how they grew up playing against each other, and shows him in his wedding, and she'll eat it up. Yeah, do it. It'll be a great 8 hours for you to get to watch something you actually want to watch.
Yeah. All right. That sounds good. That sounds good. And also, like over the weekend, I downloaded the Golf Plus on the Oculus. I was playing the Ocean Course in virtual reality, which is freaking awesome. I got to tell you, man, it is very realistic. I'm trying to get these guys in on it too, because I know Jeremy and Tank would appreciate that. Maybe we'll get a little Sports Freaks virtual golf league going. Wouldn't that be cool?
I got to try that out.
It's good.
I got to try that out.
It's good.
Can I throw my back out driving in the Oculus the way I do on an actual golf course?
That depends on how far and how hard you want to swing. But I would just tell it's a lot lighter than a golf club. Those controllers are. So I think you would be able to handle it.
I live by two philosophies on a golf course. It may not go straight, but it's going to go far, and I'm going to do it real quick.
Yeah, and the best thing about this is that the beer, and the refrigerator are right next to you the whole time while you're playing. So, it's a lot of fun. So, and we'll have to get Coach in on it too. Make sure he gets one of these virtual reality headsets. So, you'll love it. You'll love it, Mike. I'm telling you.
UNC Asheville head coach Mike Morrell joining us here in the Sportsocracy, also known as the Tank and Tinkerbell Show. Congratulations again, Coach. Can't wait to see how this season finishes off with the Big South Tournament. Obviously, we've got tomorrow night the home finale at Kimmel Arena. 6:30 is the start. Get your tickets. Let's pack the house. Chance to go undefeated at home this season. Already clinched the regular season title. These guys are going to be playing on the big stage. I don't want to jinx anything, but I think these guys are going to be playing on the big stage, and you want to see them for their last hurrah at Kimmel Arena for this season. Tomorrow night, 6:30 is the start. And, Mike, I had to mention to Jeremy earlier today because the latest bracketology came out, and I never thought I would be sitting here as a Tar Heel fan looking at a bracket that has UNC Asheville in it but does not have UNC in it. So, you got that going for you.
Well, somebody just shared this stat with me too, and again, it's noise, but I think we lead the state of North Carolina in wins right now. Over anybody.
Yes, so, you do. You do.
It's something. Again, it's easy to say, but it's really, really hard to do. So I don't get into the bracketology that much. I know a lot of people do. So, but I do appreciate all your guys' help on the games and everything, and your support. And hopefully, we'll have a good crowd out there tomorrow.
Absolutely, you got it. The the head coach of the Big South regular season champion UNC Asheville Bulldogs again tomorrow night, 6:30 at Kimmel Arena.
I would be remiss if I didn't point out this was my first year with the Bulldogs, and they get a conference championship, and they're undefeated when I'm board opening conference.
Yeah,
so.
You get a contract extension. All right?
I'm in.
Hey, and let me just say this much, Mike. The good news is that Jeremy is going to be producing our tournament games.
Yep.
Because we're going to have Tanks going to be busy with our SoCon coverage of games.
If we go 3-0 in Charlotte with him on the ones and the twos, Tank's out.
Wow! All these years, Tank. All these years mean nothing.
Asunder.
They mean nothing.
What have you done for me lately?
Well, here's the thing. I have very little to do with this, but I will commit to my meatball sub. I've done that every game. And we can just keep winning. So
keep eating meatball subs.
My cholesterol might not like it, but it's only 4 more games. So
there you go.
I can assure you this, man. If we can find a way with you producing the games down in Charlotte, you'll never buy another meatball sub on game day as long as I'm here.
Love it.
That's right. We'll have an NIL deal for you, with Jersey Mike's.
I'm all the way in.
Absolutely. All right, Coach, we appreciate it. We will be talking to you on the broadcast tomorrow.
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
See you, Coach.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
NC Highway Patrol reporting an accident 40 westbound near the Smoky Park Highway. Not seeing any backups in the area at the moment. Smoky Park Highway northbound approaching Sand Hill Road is slow. Patton Avenue problem-free. New Leicester Highway, no backups. Sweeten Creek Road southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Hendersonville Road moving well. North Asheville, Merriman Avenue northbound at Edgewood Road, traffic is slow. I'm Lynn Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples Print and Marketing is committed to quality and printing perfect every time. Now at Staples, get $10 off your document printing and marketing materials order of $50 or more. Offer ends $225. See staples.com/stores/print big for details. Try Staples and see the difference.
O'Reilly Auto Parts provides more than just the right parts for your repair. Our professional parts people can also offer free check engine light diagnosis. We can scan your vehicle and provide a list of possible fixes. Find the right parts for you or recommend a great local repair shop. Don't ignore your check engine light. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Meet Joe A,
Hi.
Joe B,
Hello.
and Joe C.
What's up?
3 everyday Joes perfecting their banking with Chase. Joe A is locking his lost debit card with the Chase mobile app. Joe B is cruising toward his new ride with AutoSave. And Joe C's Chase banker is helping him budget to go back to school. Tools that help protect, support for what's next. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Messaging and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Did you know that Ingles sells more organics than any other grocery store? Or that they run their own dairy? Or that they only serve USDA Choice and Prime meat? Or that they donate 3,956 meals a day to local food banks? Well, now you do. It's all in the bag.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
Real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
All right, back in the Sportsocracy, and it's time to get weird. And sad story coming out of Las Vegas as a man from Florida went to Vegas. Who's shocked? Man from Florida goes to Vegas, and he's at the blackjack table at the Wynn Las Vegas Resort. Hotel and casino, I guess I should say. And unfortunately, at some point during the night while he's playing blackjack, he just slumped over on the table. And apparently no one noticed. Or is it the fact that, I don't know, it is Vegas, and so many people pass out playing games, table games, that they just didn't think anything of it. Because a lawsuit has been filed by David Jagelinzer's family because they say he passed out at the table and the dealer kept dealing for 20 minutes. No one came to say hello or shake him or wake him up. The dealer just kept dealing. And apparently this guy had suffered a cardiac arrest and just died at the table. Is it, I mean, am I out of my element here that it's just, it seems like this should be a red flag where the dealer goes, okay, guys passed out, we got to stop.
Well, as somebody that has seen a casino or two in my life, you do have some clientele that's not exactly the most lively. So the sad thing is he probably wasn't the most morose person at that table. I've played a lot of black. I'm awful at blackjack.
Maybe, and maybe
my wife's good at it.
Maybe the guy was losing, and they just thought, well, he's just exasperated from losing so much.
Oh yeah, he's just depressed. But that's what I would think.
Right, because they say you can see on the footage where like his arm starts hurting and his hand starts twitching, and then all of a sudden he just flaked out.
Okay, yeah, that you should have known.
He slumped over on the table with one arm extended out toward the dealer, and the dealer just kept dealing around him. And no one came by to say anything or prod him or anything. 20 minutes seems like a long time.
That's a long time. That's a long time.
So, yeah, this is a lawsuit that I'm pretty sure Mr. Jagalinzer's family is going to be rolling in some dough from the Wynn Hotel Casino.
Without a doubt. Speaking of dough, there is one part of this world that I don't think I'm ever going to understand.
Okay.
And that is the art world.
Aha.
I
Yes.
do not understand why people spend outrageous amounts of money on art.
Hey, those dogs.
And I used bunny ears.
Those dogs playing poker, they always tie the room together.
Well, it's ironic you said dogs, because my story is involved in a dog. There is a dog involved.
Oh, okay.
There was an art event in Miami, and one of the pieces on display was it's called Balloon Dog.
Balloon Dog.
There are 799 of them in the world.
Did we shoot this one down?
Well, kind of.
Oh.
So it's literally a porcelain balloon animal of a dog.
Ah, okay.
It's worth $42,000. Well, apparently at this event, a female art collector was curious what it was made of.
Mm-hmm.
And so she touched it. When she touched it, it's porcelain and it's hollow, and it fell. And it fell to the ground and broke into 1,000 pieces.
Oh, no.
Now people are trying to buy the broken pieces because they think that is some, like, symbolic of childhood dreams. Now the broken pieces are worth more than the dogs that are put together.
Oh, that's dumb.
Okay, just don't tell me I don't get it. Obviously, I don't. I'm a grown man with a mullet, okay? I don't get fine things. I like domestic lights and Fireball. I'm a white trash guy. I get it. I get that I'm not who you're after. What lunatic spends $42,000 on an imitation balloon dog?
I have no idea.
You can have an actual balloon dog for 6 cents.
But I mean, what makes it worth $42,000? Was it made by some great porcelain sculptor, or
the guy's name
was this by the Michael Jordan of sculpting?
Nope, just an artist named Jeff Kuntz. Just a regular guy, and he made 799 of these,
and
now
sells
there's
them all for
$42,000.
Yep. I need to.
How are there 800 people that go, I need a porcelain balloon dog?
Wow.
You know what? I think I'm going to become an artist. I mean, I'm already tortured.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to drink 17 domestic lights, get a couple paintbrushes, throw some paint on it, and go, oh, look, it's art. Give me $11 billion.
You should paint them with the mullet.
Oh.
You just dip the back of the head in the...
Oh, yeah.
Mullet creations from Jeremy.
Speaking of that, after the break, we got to talk about my hair. Because we have a conundrum.
Uh-oh.
We have a problem. And I need the house to tell me how exactly I'm supposed to handle this. Because I got an idea, but I don't know how much I like it.
All right, sounds like we're going to need everybody to weigh in on this one. YouTube.com/thesportsocracy. Subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Taste of April in the February forecast. We're talking some upper 70s and busting records here in Asheville for Thursday ahead. It's been a beautiful day today. 50 degrees our low tonight. Morning clouds Wednesday. Afternoon sunshine. We're at 75 degrees. Even warmer on Thursday. 78 degrees in the valley, and I think we'll push past daily records. Rain showers cooler Friday and Saturday. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Light delays 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 eastbound is stop and go east of Hendersonville Road to approaching Chimney Rock Road. 26 westbound delays between Long Shoals Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Sweeten Creek Road southbound is busy approaching Mills Gap Road. Hendersonville Road moving well. Checking the drive time from downtown Asheville to Asheville Regional Airport via 240 westbound and 26 eastbound, drive time 19 minutes. I'm Lynn Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Dell Technologies.
Dell Technologies President's Day sale starts now with savings on select sleek XPS PCs and more powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors, plus savings on essential accessories and free shipping. Call 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Josh, quote, "After walking around my whole life being a mouth breather, I was excited to try Navage. I read the directions carefully, pressed the button, and oh my gosh, what a sensation. So much mucus, so much crud, but oh sweet, merciful air I can finally breathe you through my nose. Never have I ever taken such an amazing breath in my life. This is a life changer," unquote. He's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
You were just dumber than a bag of hammers.
We are in the Sportsocracy inside the Ingles studio on ESPN Asheville. And, of course, when Flostradamus has a problem, we have to turn to the House of Reprehensibles.
And this is a legit problem.
All right, so there's a conundrum with the mullet?
There's a mullet-dundrum.
A mullet-dundrum. Okay.
So I'm getting married in May.
Yes.
It has been laid down to me.
Mm-hmm. I knew this day was coming.
It has been laid down to me that for the wedding day, the mullet must go. There is no care of what happens after.
Nope.
It can be grown right back.
Yep.
But no, okay, here's my problem. It takes quite an effort to grow this luxurious mane that I have.
It needs to be tamed.
Well, and I'm fine with that. I frankly, I was trying to grow it out so it would be not a mullet for the wedding day, and then I could, take it back to mulletdom. But apparently that has been.
So your idea is rather than mullet, let's go man bun for the wedding.
Bingo.
No.
100% with a hat.
Stop that.
With a hat.
No.
With a cool guy hat.
No.
Like a flat, like a big old cowboy hat.
You can have your Kentucky Derby Sunday go to meeting hat.
I also got shot down on hat for the wedding, which I am not a huge fan of.
Yeah.
But I want a hat.
Well, you don't need a hat.
But I
what
think
do
I
you
do.
want to show up in your Godfather outfit and
Yes.
I'm not talking like Al Pacino, Marlon Brando Godfather. I'm talking whole train Godfather. You want that kind of hat with a big plume, WWE superstar. Yeah, that's why she said no. Like no hat.
So we were at Cat Williams Saturday. All right, he played ball in Sikoris. There was a guy sitting next to us that had the greatest hat I think I've ever seen. I mean, it was. It's top 3 hats of all time. It was actually the same color as the interior of my brand new 2023 Nissan Rogue. And I went, that's the hat I want. She looked at me like I had just injured a small animal right
Good
in front
for
of
her.
And she went, mm-mm. And while we're on that, the hair's got to go.
Yes.
So here's the conundrum. I'm not getting out of the hair going somewhere.
No, I knew you would.
I'm not. Like it's not happening. I have tried.
I'm just so pleased right now because I knew this day was coming.
Stephen Tao has an excellent idea.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I side with Amy here, but if you have to chop the mullet, then you get to wear the green Jordans. I like that.
That's a great compromise.
But see, if I do that, then I need to wear a green suit, and now I think we're getting into I'm asking too much.
You don't need green suit.
I think I do.
No,
I think
a gray suit would be. Fine.
Well, she wants to go blue, so blue doesn't go with green.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
I mean, I may be colorblind, but I got that much.
Yeah.
Maybe a grown man with bells on my head, but I got that much.
So she wants you to do blue.
Yes, and I'm sitting here going, all right, I got to get something out of this. I just don't know what it is.
That is a conundrum. Although, I mean, here we are. A whole bunch of dudes, and I know there are a few women listening as well, but essentially we're a giant group of dudes trying to decide what are we going to do about Jeremy's wife laying down the law as far as the wedding goes. We all know how this ends. This is going to go, Amy tells us what she's going to do, and then we go, okay.
Well, I mean, we know how it's going to end.
White suit?
Ooh.
White suit with the green.
That's never gonna.
No.
I feel like I could make green suit work. I just don't know that I can make green suit work for her.
Not if the rest of the ensemble is blue. Like if you got bridesmaids and everybody's wearing blue,
but
you're
none
gonna
of
look
that's
like an
been
idiot
decided
wearing
yet.
green.
But none of that's been decided yet.
Oh,
it's still
okay.
We're still very open here.
I think we should go. I think we should lobby for green. Green needs to be the color.
To me, that's the solution.
I mean, your name's going to be green.
Now, there's also another element of my hair is actually long enough to donate. That's a thing that I didn't know.
Mm-hmm. Or am I wrong? Or is she not taking the name? Or
oh yeah, she's
taking the name.
Yeah.
Okay, see, you're going to be the greens. You need to have a green wedding.
Boom, with a jet cake.
I just don't know
Too
about
far?
green suit because then you really do become giant country leprechaun. And
let's go. You're making me come on. I have to look in some way ridiculous. This is
yeah. See, that's what she's trying to avoid.
I'm aware of that.
Yeah, so I'm on your side with the green suit. I'm on your side with the green suit. I'm on her side with the no mullet. You can grow it back. I know it's been a labor of love for the last 18 months?
Ooh, no, it's longer than that.
Has it been longer than that? You've been growing?
We're
that?
over 2 years.
Are we? Okay.
Now it's been cut.
Yeah, but you've also been letting it get longer and longer and shaggier, and you can invest that time later.
And now I look like a lion.
Right. This is the day.
That's my inner self.
Right.
And that's I'm very much me right now.
This is the day that we're going to be sitting around with our grandkids, showing them pictures of our wedding day, and I don't want Dad to have or Granddad to have a mullet.
Bingo. Yeah, it's. I mean, and it's the first thing she's really legitimately ever asked me. Okay, So, like, it's got, yeah, I saw it too. Yeah.
Points for Stephen Tao.
Yeah, Stephen Tao first. That was tremendous. We can't say that on the show, but good for you.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to make a happy thing out of this, and I want to turn it into a charitable thing. Because here's my thought. We cut my hair day 3 of the draft.
Okay.
We always do day 3 of the draft for charity anyway.
Mm-hmm.
The draft ends 2.5 weeks before I get married.
Okay.
I mean, I'm seeing an opportunity here. We say this very often. We like New England Patriot receivers. We're very slotty when it comes to charity. So, okay, I need ideas.
Donate enough money, and I'll cut your hair.
I don't think there's enough. I don't think the gross domestic product of Asheville is enough for me to let you cut my hair.
That's an incentive, people.
However, I have thought about we could run a contest where you donate a couple of the balloons for a vote, and you get to determine my next hairstyle.
Ooh.
Yeah, see?
That could be fun.
Yeah, that was my best friend's idea. And as soon as he said it, I went, well, see, now I'm going to have to do that, and I don't want to do that. Because I have a feeling by the end of this, I'm going to look like Benjamin Franklin.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's no way that's not what's going to win. It's that or bowl cut. There are no in-betweens.
Or the, what was his name? The lead singer of the Misfits. Jerry Only. You get the horn of hair that comes off the front of your head. And the rest of it's all bald. Yeah.
Okay, so I will just tell you this. I have one of the most just god-awful looking heads you'll ever see in your life. We need less head.
We need less head. We need a little hair, more.
Whatever this is, it needs to have more hair on the head. Because I cannot pull off the Tank Spencer and not look like somebody that you do not want to encounter in a dark alley. That's just the way it goes. I look like a very bad person.
Yeah, and we can donate it to Locks of Love.
100%. That's going to happen. And we measured it. It actually is long enough to do that with. I didn't know there was a requirement. But so that will be happening.
Mm-hmm.
I want to turn this into, I want to make it a charitable thing.
Okay. All right.
So anybody with ideas, feel free to shoot those in the YouTube chat, throw them at us on the social medias. We're going to find a way to make something, that's a way to make a good thing out of this.
Or do we go the wheel of hair? Do we get the prize wheel and just put a whole bunch of hairstyles on it and we spin the wheel? And see what happens. That could be a thought as well. Just spin the wheel, let fates decide. I don't know. We're just workshopping it here in the Sportsocracy on a Tuesday afternoon. We'll be right back.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is stop and go 26 eastbound between Hendersonville Road to approaching Chimney Rock Road due to an accident. 26 westbound slow approaching Long Shoals Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. Smoky Park Highway northbound approaching Sand Hill Road is slow. Merriman Avenue northbound near Edgewood Road delays. Sweeten Creek Road southbound approaching Mills Gap Road slow. Checking the drive time from Biltmore Forest to Fletcher via Hendersonville Road southbound, drive time 16 minutes. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Dell Technologies.
Dell Technologies President's Day sale starts now with savings on select sleek XPS PCs and more powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors, plus savings on essential accessories and free shipping. Call 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Meet Joe A,
Hi.
Joe B,
Hello.
and Joe C.
What's up?
3 everyday Joes perfecting their banking with Chase. Joe A is locking his lost debit card with the Chase mobile app. Joe B is cruising toward his new ride with AutoSave. And Joe C's Chase banker is helping him budget to go back to school. Tools that help protect, support for what's next. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Messaging and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and sheets make cleaning look easy.
Our communities are filled with wonderful people who make living here great. At Home Trust Bank, we're proud of that. And that's why we focus on helping homeowners prepare for what's next. Our local mortgage bankers have the experience you need and exceptional personal service you'll appreciate. Home Trust Bank is ready to help make a house your home. When it's time to buy, visit your local Home Trust branch or go to htb.com/mortgage.
The Ingles 2023 Southern Conference Downtown Dribble and Kids Fest, presented by Champion Credit Union, will be held Saturday, March 4th, 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. at the Roger McGuire Greene at Peck Square Park. The Downtown Dribble will feature interactive games, inflatables, pep bands, cheerleaders, and parade. Each participant will receive a basketball, Downtown Dribble t-shirt, and a ticket to the noon session quarterfinal basketball games. Check-in will begin at 9:30 a.m. at Roger McGuire Greene. To register, visit downtowndribble.eventbrite.com.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelly Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Cott?
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, and I think the wheel idea has got some supporters. Matt, in the YouTube comments, he says he's all about for spinning the wheel of hair to determine what Jeremy's next hairstyle is going to be after he cuts it for the wedding. I'm still just so geeked out that she finally did it. I've been waiting for 2 years for her to come to you and go, okay, it's time. It's time.
And see, she doesn't do that. She allows me to be me.
She wants to.
But apparently, for this one very special occasion, I am not going to be able to be a lion.
Yeah, no. We're definitely cutting that out. This is the opening day of the franchise tag period. We talked about some of the major targets at quarterback in the free agency market. We're going to talk cornerbacks coming up in the next hour, the top of the free agency class for 2023. We've got coaching moves going on all over the place right now. Jim Bob Cooter is back in Indianapolis.
I mean, old JBC, let's go.
I mean, the guy who rose to fame as the offensive coordinator for Jim Caldwell with the Indianapolis Colts several years ago. He is back with Indianapolis now. So that's good. And it looks like Rex Ryan is going to come back to coaching.
I want this to happen so bad. Can you imagine Rex Ryan with Sean Payton?
That'd be great.
They already got our buddy Mike Westhoff. Let's just get the band back together. Let's go.
Absolutely. What could go wrong?
Is he the highest paid defensive coordinator in the league?
Yes.
I tend to agree with you.
I don't think there's any doubt about it.
There's a report out today that the Philadelphia Eagles offered Jonathan Gannon more than he got to coach the Cardinals to come back to be their DC.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if Rex got something ridiculous. He's a great coordinator.
Yeah.
He was a good head coach.
Yeah. Now, see, that's one of those. Like Eric Bieniemy. Eric Bieniemy is going to the Washington Commanders.
And to me, it is so stupid that people do not understand. If I had $1 for every person I've said, why would he go to Washington? How are you not getting this?
There's all this kerfuffle about why would he leave Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid to go to Washington for a lateral move.
And this is the simplest thing to explain on the planet Earth. Because what more can he do in Kansas City? He's gotten exactly 0 head coaching offers.
Mm-hmm.
That's his goal.
Mm-hmm.
If he has the Commanders in the top 12 of the NFL in offense next year, he'll be a head coach.
I would
agree.
agree.
Be a head coach. No doubt. To me, 0 doubt. Because then you tangibly have something where you can say, see, I was part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I mean, there is a risk because you could go to Washington and be 22nd in total offense, and then people are going to go, see, he was propped up by Andy Reid.
Yep.
Double-edged sword. He knew he wasn't getting a head coaching job in Kansas City.
Mm-hmm. But see, I get since you said that I didn't know that about Jonathan Gannon, that he was offered more money to stay in Philadelphia. That's actually one that I would go, I don't know that I would have done that. I might have taken the more money to stay with Philadelphia.
I no doubt would have.
I don't want to go to.
I don't want the Arizona job.
Right, no. Why would I want to go out there? Because I know I'm going to fail.
And it's not like you wouldn't have gotten better offers next year.
Absolutely.
Bring that defense back. You've got a couple different pieces. I mean,
see,
that's one of the mistakes that first-time head coaches make. There's a huge talking point about coaches not getting second opportunities and things like that. It's because you take terrible jobs.
Right.
The Arizona, there is virtually no shot you're going to succeed there. You're stuck to Kyler. You've got a bad scouting department. It's been bad for years because the Bidwells don't put the money into it.
Mm-hmm. The Arizona Cardinals stepping stone job, agree? That's a stepping stone
There's not
job.
a stepping stone job in the NFL.
Really?
No. I mean, because you're not taking a job. When was the last time you saw a head coach leave one job to take another? That doesn't exist. I mean, Herman Edwards did it kind of with the Chiefs, but it was
okay.
You should take that job, or we are very much in play to fire you.
I get what you're saying. There are no stepping stone jobs, but here's the thing: you take a job that you obviously go into it thinking, I'm going to turn this thing around. I'm going to be the guy. Chances are you're going to go, in Jonathan Gannon's case, you're going to go to the Arizona Cardinals. You're going to lose for 2 years. Then you're going to have a very tumultuous third year. And if you don't make the playoffs, win a playoff game, something, you're done, you're fired. Then you got to go take the defensive coordinator job for somebody else. Maybe you go back to Philadelphia for a year or two. And then you get that other job. You get the better job after that. That's what I mean by stepping stone.
Well, nobody goes in with that intention because so many guys don't get a second chance. Because it goes so badly because you keep taking these jobs. There are probably 10 jobs in the NFL that virtually no one has been able to correct. Chicago Bears.
Mm-hmm.
Name me the coach from the Bears that got a second chance. Because it's been a nightmare. And I go through this with we had a ton of people with a ton of comments over the weekend on the 2-round mock draft. 3-round individual team mock drafts starting tomorrow. I don't understand why it's so hard for fans of teams to get it. The Chicago Bears. I get railed on because I say you should trade Justin Fields because he's the more valuable asset. Do I really believe you're going to be able to put a team around him? No, because for 30 years you've proven that to me. You got really lucky one time because you had a generational linebacker and a really good defense. And guess what? You went to the Super Bowl and got beat.
Mm-hmm.
Arizona Cardinals. You've been to a couple. Guess what? You got beat by franchises that are better than you. So I'm glad you said what you said about Gannon because I thought it myself.
Yeah.
If you're telling me Philadelphia offered me, even if it was just the same money, and I will see if a franchise a year from now that I could succeed with would hire me.
Yep.
That was the thing that kind of surprised me about Bieniemy is that you're taking a huge leap of faith here with Washington. They have pieces. I like the 2 running backs-ish. I like your receiver room. You do still have a rookie quarterback behind second-year quarterback. Mainly a rookie because he barely played.
Right.
Behind an inconsistent offensive line. That's you going out on a ledge. It can be greatly beneficial. It can also ruin your career.
Can Eric Bieniemy be the guy? We read.
I certainly believe so.
We told you the story last week, or relayed the story to you last week of Andy Reid saying, "I hope he goes to a place where he can call the shots." Well, Eric Bieniemy's going to the Washington Commanders. He's going to be able to call the shots with the offense, and can he get it done? That's the big question. You're in the Sportsocracy. It is ESPN Asheville. Coming up after the SportsCenter update, it'll be time for the daily draft stock up, stock down from the weekend.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Taste of April in the February forecast. We're talking some upper 70s and busting records here in Asheville for Thursday ahead. Been a beautiful day today. 50 degrees our low tonight. Morning clouds Wednesday. Afternoon sunshine. We're at 75 degrees. Even warmer on Thursday. 78 degrees in the valley, and I think we'll push past daily records. Rain showers cooler Friday and Saturday. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is stop and go 26 eastbound between Hendersonville Road to approaching Chimney Rock Road due to an accident. 26 westbound slow approaching Long Shoals Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. Smoky Park Highway northbound approaching Sand Hill Road is slow. Merriman Avenue northbound near Edgewood Road delays. Sweeten Creek Road southbound approaching Mills Gap Road slow. Checking the drive time from Biltmore Forest to Fletcher via Hendersonville Road southbound, drive time 16 minutes. I'm Lynn Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Pfizer. When temperatures drop, COVID-19 cases may rise. So if you test positive and are at high risk, act fast. Even if your symptoms feel mild, ask your provider if an authorized oral treatment could be right for you. Visit treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
You might not have the biggest garage on the block, but with eBay Motors, there's 122 million parts right at your fingertips, whatever you need. There's something that fits your vehicle. Air filters, tires, seat covers, and more. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The next chapter for one of the most intriguing stories this NFL offseason is about to be written with the franchise tag window open. It involves a marquee name, Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson. The Ravens could put the exclusive or non-exclusive tag on Jackson as the sides try to work on a long-term contract. Baltimore really has only one choice here, though, believes our Keyshawn Johnson.
Best thing for them to do, though, is try to figure out how to get the deal done, man. I understand you don't want to spend $230 million, whatever the case is, but get close enough. Get close enough to that guaranteed money, put some incentives in there that's makeable, likely to be earned, and then we can go from there.
Key of Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Alabama basketball star Brandon Miller allegedly provided the handgun that was used to kill a woman last month, according to police in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. A detective testified today that former Crimson Tide player Darius Miles asked Miller via a text to bring the gun to him and another man. Miles is one of two men charged with murder. Miller has not been charged. NBA Bulls guard Lonzo Ball out the rest of the season, still dealing with a persistent knee injury.
We all know the game isn't over till it's over. So next time you need parts for your car, don't call it quits. Go to eBay Motors. They have 122 million parts to take your car into overtime. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
Welcome back into the Ingles Studio on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app, and you can see us live in the Ingles Studio on the YouTubes. Just go to youtube.com/thesportsocracy. Jeremy has ditched the Mardi Gras hat. He's had enough of his bells ringing.
Yeah, I feel like I now understand why cats chase bells, because that is just that is an infuriating.
It is maddening. It's absolutely maddening. But I'm glad that you stuck with the Mardi Gras hat through the first 2 hours of the program here as we're celebrating a Fat Tuesday. I have no idea what Fat Tuesday means. I don't care what it means. I've just always liked it because it's the holiday for fat people, right?
For some reason, people keep talking about pancakes. I don't know.
Yeah, apparently you're supposed to eat pancakes for dinner or something.
Why would you eat pancakes for dinner?
I don't. I mean, have you never had pancakes for dinner? No. You do breakfast for dinner?
No.
That's fun. I don't know.
Why would you eat breakfast for dinner?
It's usually one of those things like, oh, crap, I forgot to lay something out. I guess we're having scrambled eggs and bacon, guys.
I mean, I have that in the morning. I like that in the morning. I don't want to do it for dinner.
Well, why not? You never know.
It's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm weird in that regard.
It's just a breakfast food for you. You just same old boring guy. Yeah, okay.
Well, I mean,
No,
I like scrambled eggs and things like that. I can't wrap my head around why would I eat that at 7:00 at night. First of all, I'm not going to be able to sleep all night because every breakfast food gives me heartburn.
Yeah. That's
so I'm going to lay in bed and go, well, I hate life right now because I feel like my heart is about to explode.
Indeed. Whatever you do with your king cakes and your masquerades and all that, be safe if you're going to be out celebrating on this Fat Tuesday.
I'm going to go home and watch Yellowstone
That
because I'm
sounds like
almost done.
That sounds like a great idea.
It's got a handful of episodes left.
Stock up, stock down from the weekend. We're going to keep this going even throughout the offseason because, there's other things going on other than NFL football.
And they don't really deserve a whole lot of talking about, but we'll give it a little bit.
Indeed. Stock up, stock down from the weekend. It's time for the daily draft. Jeremy, you got the number one pick, so what was your big stock up or stock down from the weekend?
Mine's a stock down, and it's the NBA.
The NBA, yeah.
Good Lord, that was awful. Let me just run down the list of unbelievably, mind-bogglingly stupid things that you did in this weekend. You had a G Leaguer win your dunk contest, of which please spare me on how good he was because no, he wasn't. He might have been last 5 years good. I want you to go back and watch Vince Carter in 1998 or 2000?
I think it was 2000.
Somewhere back there. I want you to watch that and then watch what Mac McClung did and then tell me that somehow 23 years later, half of what Vince did is a landmark dunk contest. No, I actually think he killed it. Yeah, I think you physically have now killed the dunk contest. And then the next night, you killed your All-Star game. That was absolutely unwatchable. The draft took like 30 minutes longer than it was supposed to. It felt like the game was never going to start. I'm not sure that Nikola Jokic didn't draft himself.
Right.
I'm not sure he didn't just go, I'm going with LeBron. It's my guy. I'm in right here. He didn't pick me, but here we go. It was awful. Then you get the team captain whose wrist is seriously messed up, comes in for 20 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great. Then LeBron hits his hand on the rim, and I got to sit down now. Now, it was still fine when he went through the line and was dapping everybody up with the same hand.
Mm-hmm.
That was fine. That's a joke. It's an absolute joke, and it never ceases to amaze me that all of these ancillary sports can be handed the opportunity to throw an actual number by giving us a product that would be fun to watch, and they still find a way to not do it.
Mm-hmm.
You had the whole calendar to yourself last night, or 2 nights ago, excuse me, and you did nothing with it. It was a disaster. It's really the NBA in a nutshell.
Okay. Stock down overall for the weekend for the NBA. The All-Star festivities, not great. Not great. I'm glad I didn't spend a single second on it.
I tried and couldn't.
Mm-mm.
I sat down with the hope of watching the game, and it felt like the draft took 2 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm literally sitting here watching you draft the teams, of which I get doing it live. Doing it directly before the game is stupid.
Yeah.
And by the way, that takes away the ability for people to bet on it.
Didn't they do this on All-Star Saturday night a few years back when they first started the fantasy draft?
It wasn't. They didn't show it for a year. Then they went, well, that's dumb, and they showed it the last night of the regular season, which I guess that's the solution. Whatever that you did last night, it was awful. Or 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting today's not Monday.
No, it is not. All right, my stock up for the weekend. NASCAR's back, baby. Daytona 500, it was a great race. It was tight down to the finish. You had 2 overtimes, the longest race in history at 212 laps. It all came down to the final finish. Am I still upset? Yes. The Kyle Busch, my driver, took the lead with 3 laps to go and then ended up just choking it away in the overtime period. But it is what it is. I guess I'm just destined to never have a driver, my favorite driver, win the Daytona 500. Because since I've been following this sport, I've had 2 main drivers. One's Tony Stewart, one's Kyle Busch. Neither of them have won a Daytona 500, and I don't think it's in the cards for either of them. Obviously not for Tony, but it may not be in the cards for Kyle to win one in his career either. So NASCAR's back. That's good to know. And, hey, they pulled in 7th place in the TV ratings. over the weekend.
It's in their share duration.
Yeah, in the share duration, only got beat out by Law and Order Special Victims Unit.
I want you to think about what he just said.
Good Morning America.
Again.
The Today Show.
Third time.
And had a 0.1% less share duration than the NBA All-Star Game.
It wasn't that was the whole week.
Oh, that was
NBA
the whole
basketball.
week of NBA
That's
basketball.
the whole week.
Nice.
The NBA from February 13th to the 19th got 0.8% share duration.
Right.
With like 25 games on television.
Yeah.
I say this a lot. You want to know why we don't talk about these sports? Because you make it abundantly clear that you don't care.
Clear. Yeah, absolutely.
Some of you do. And over the course of the year, you're going to meet some new friends that are going to do some wonderful content for YouTube, not for the radio. Because in large part, you don't care.
Yeah, top two events, TV share duration for the week was men's college basketball and the PGA Tour. But NASCAR's back. Good for them. Also, stock up from the weekend. I got to go with the local boys. Mike Morrell and the UNC Asheville Bulldogs clinching the Big South regular season title with a win over Gardner-Webb on Saturday. They will be playing against Charleston Southern tomorrow night at Kimmel Arena, the season finale at home, trying to go undefeated at home in the season. And, of course, still continuing to stay in that number one seed spot.
Just saying, undefeated in conference with me.
With Jeremy running the games.
Me and my meatball Sammy, we're undefeated in conference.
Yeah,
No big deal.
Yeah, good for you. So stock up, obviously, for the UNC Asheville men's basketball team. Head coach Mike Morrell, player of the year Drew Pember, all those guys just getting it done. Congratulations to them.
All right, my next one is a stock up, and it's also a different sport, and it's one of the ones that beat your Daytona 500 PGA. Weird. Tiger played, and your ratings were phenomenal. Weird how that works. The sport's better with Tiger Woods. It just is. Whether you like him, hate him, it doesn't matter. It is more watchable with him. And as many bad things have happened over the last 2 years with Liv and everything else, you need Tiger now more than you've ever needed him before. And I'm going to be honest with you, he was dreadful in 2 of those 4 rounds. I mean, genuinely hard to watch. But it's still better when he's out there. Still flat out, it's just better when he's out there. My next one's a stock down. And I feel like I have to say this because you're not going to.
Okay.
It's the North Carolina Tar Heels. Congratulations, you're probably going to miss the tournament. You remember that thing I said about Hubert Davis may not be a great coach?
Yes.
I'm going to say the same thing about John Shire. Stop hiring former players just because they're former players. I can count on one hand the number of times that's worked. There is little in this world that irks me more than the guy that played, he knows the game because he played. Okay, let me give you a converse of that. The guy that didn't play had to work 5 times harder to get here. That's why, in large part, they make better coaches. I think Hubert's a great guy, and he's a great recruiter. He's recruiting in a way that even Roy didn't, because Roy wanted guys that stayed for 4 years. I get it. It's a different narrative. I have watched these 2 guys that took over for legends. They do not get calls. Ever. The officials basically just tune them out. And I feel like this might be the most disappointing season I've ever seen from a preseason number 1, because they don't have there's no second gear. It's Armando Bacot can dominate you down low, or Caleb Love gets really hot from the outside. End of message, repeat the line. There is no counterpunch, ever. And you said this to me before the show, of if you're going to play R.J. Davis 40 minutes, don't be shocked when in the last 4 he's
gassed.
Running on fumes.
Just absolutely gassed.
Yeah, don't be shocked. Do not be shocked. That is the way it works. So I watched the not the entire Carolina NC State game, and I swear to you, I was calling out what was going to happen before it happened.
You know, it hurts my heart to say that, but they were on my list. They were absolutely on my list. This season could not have gone much worse than it has gone. Because some would say, well, what about injuries? Even if you had injuries, you'd have an excuse. Armando Bacot misses half the season with a terrible injury. You could go, oh, okay, well, best player's been on the sidelines. You've had everybody. You've had the core pretty much together, spotty here and there with injuries, but you can't get it done. And it looks like you may miss the tournament completely.
I at this point think short of making a run in the ACC tournament, there's no way you're not going to.
Yeah.
There's too many bubble teams that are playing in tournaments where they could make a run.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I got news for you. If Carolina runs up against Miami or runs up against Virginia, you're going to have a next-level performance to beat them just because they're flat out way better than you are. That's weird to say off a team that was preseason number one.
Yep. Stock up, stock down from the weekend. Let's go. Part of me says this ain't really fair, but what's our least favorite word in the dictionary? Fair. Stock down for the XFL. I'm sorry. I know it got some people to watch. Some people are like, oh, I got to check out this XFL thing. I heard from one person this weekend that actually sat down and tried to watch the XFL.
It's not going to rate. I mean,
no, it's not going to rate.
You've got to understand with these subsidiary leagues what success is. You're not going to throw a number because we know this is inferior football.
Mm-hmm.
I actually would have had XFL as a stock up.
Really?
I would have.
But why?
Because you're doing innovative things. That's the best thing you can do is hope that you – I mean, look, a win for Danny Garcia and Dwayne Johnson is that the NFL buys this league.
Mm-hmm.
That's your only success. They will run you out of business otherwise. And now you got the USFL, so you're cutting the player pool in half. I'm not shocked that the football's not good. But at least with the reviews, you're doing things with the kickoff. Am I saying the NFL would ever do this? No. But could I see a path that they look at this and go, okay, we need one. We need one of you to win out. And so we will buy it and use you as a minor league system. That's ultimately where I've always said this has to go. The only way it will work is for the NFL to have guys that are developmental players. You may have to extend the draft out. I'm saying that, a fourth day of the draft would probably rate better than the All-Star game.
True.
And then you put these guys in the XFL. They're on your practice squad, and then you send them to the XFL, and they play in the spring. They're doing it anyway. You can't ask them to play that many games. They're doing it anyway. These guys are going to wind up on NFL training camp rosters. The difference is they're not tied to a team now, so you don't care. Tie them to your team. Think about this: if the 55th guy on the Bucs roster was playing for the San Antonio Brahmas, would you be more likely to watch it?
No.
I would.
I'm sure you would.
I'll go ahead and tell you, if my practice squad guys were playing for these XFL teams, and I could see, hey, that kid's actually a player, and you tie them off, there's 8 teams in that league, each team gets 10 practice squad spots to put on these rosters, that'd work. Nothing else is going to work.
Yeah.
Because nobody cares. They don't care about this random running back they've never heard of before.
No.
You have to tie it back to something they care about.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do that, you will get eyeballs. Until you do that, you will not.
You had, 3 out of the 4 games over the weekend in the XFL were real close, one-score games, teams coming back to take the victory, and nobody saw it.
Yeah.
Because nobody cares. We don't care about I was shocked when I saw the Arlington Renegades were going out there, and they're starting some guy at quarterback I've never heard of. Meanwhile, you got Kyle Slaughter on the team, who was – that guy, he was an all-USFL team member last year. Now, my question is –
But they're trying to win.
Oh, I get it. But is the XFL that much better than the USFL, that an all-USFL player goes in and can't even start in the XFL? It's going to take time for us to figure this out, to see if one of these leagues is worth anything. But I think
it's worth.
Right. I think we're all going to come to the same conclusion of, it's a fun gimmick to have around, but I'd rather watch anything else.
Well, but that's the thing. This is where these I'll give you a good example. The G League. You know why nobody cares about the G League? Because a guy like James Weissman never pans out.
Mm-hmm.
It never works. It never turns into anything. You're told how great this player is, and then he goes and plays for the Rio Grande Vipers or whatever their stupid G League affiliate is. He goes there, scores 32 points a night, 17 boards. Then he comes to the NBA and can't play dead in a Western. You know what that psychologically is telling me? This league is so inferior that a 14th player off the bench can go in here and dominate it.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually seen players come from the XFL, the USFL, go into the NFL and do things. Kevontae Turpin this year with the Dallas Cowboys. If you turned it into a big show, it would work. But if you think this is ever going to rate with college basketball or even the PGA Tour, it's not. Mm-hmm. It's not. And I had a couple friends that were covering these games that showed panoramic shots of the stadium, empty. Dead empty. But the product's not bad. The product's not bad, and that would have an allure to the NFL. That's where you survive. It's the only way it works.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. We'll take a quick break, then we'll come back to wrap up the Stock Up, Stock Down Daily Draft after this.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slowing 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. Sweeten Creek Road southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Hendersonville Road incident-free. On the Smoky Park Highway, no backups. Patton Avenue moving well. New Leicester Highway, no problems. On the Charlotte Highway, no backups. Tunnel Road incident-free. Checking the drive time from West Asheville to Biltmore Village via Meadow Road. Drive time 12 minutes. I'm Lyndon Peel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business needs, from quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options. Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Tara, quote, "My doctor wanted me to do saline rinses for my allergies, but I've never been able to successfully use a neti pot. Navage uses suction power, so it's foolproof. There are nights when I'll have particularly bothersome allergies. I'll bust it out, and the results are immediate. It's such a relief. It's become a lifesaver." Unquote. She's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelly Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need, and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
You're back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400, and we're heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. Stock up, stock down from the weekend. Jeremy started it off with stock down for the NBA, and it's All-Star Weekend. NASCAR's back for me. That's the stock up of the weekend. Then UNC Asheville, Big South regular season champs in men's basketball. Congratulations to them. PGA Tour. Stock up for Jeremy. Stock down for the UNC Chapel Hill men's basketball team, who may not make the tournament. Latest bracketology from Joe Lenardi, no kidding, has Carolina as the first team out. And, of course, as the leader in the Big South and the regular season champion, you got UNC Asheville in the tournament and Carolina not in the tournament, which kind of hurts my soul. I went stock down for the XFL. Jeremy disagrees. He thinks this weekend was a win for them. I think it's just maybe.
Look, they're doing innovative things. Nobody cares about these players.
Maybe it's not stock down. Maybe it's just stock neutral, because I don't care.
No, nobody ever cares. We've done this 100 times. If you don't tie it to the NFL, people don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, you are a bright guy. You have got to know that. There is no way you don't know that.
And this is just the starting ground. This is just the starting ground. They're getting this off the ground floor. You got to take down the USFL first.
I don't think that's going to be hard to do.
Oh no, because it's terrible. They're all terrible. I don't get the minor league football thing. I never have. The arena league's coming back, but for why? That's another story. And then my next pick here, I'm going to go another stock up, and I'm going to go from the racing world. And yes, it's tied to the Daytona 500, because our good friend Brad Daugherty from right here in the mountains of western North Carolina, he is the first in NASCAR. He is the first black majority owner or principal owner of a racing team to win the Daytona 500 with JTG Daugherty Racing. They got the checkered flag with Ricky Spenhouse Jr. in the Daytona 500. So Brad Daugherty out there still making waves all these many years after his playing career, and of course, pretty successful career as a car owner in NASCAR.
That's a good one. I like Brad.
I do like Brad.
I'm going to do something I've never done before. My next stock down is going to be something that you had on the other side.
Okay.
NASCAR. That's your Super Bowl. And this green-white checker overtime thing is borderline unwatchable. You can confine an entire super speedway race into about 8 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how I know that? Because I did it. I didn't watch a second of this. I watched it on Twitter of people saying, oh, they're coming to the pits. So I kept track of where the race was. And then when you got to the end, because I knew exactly how this was going to go, I turned it on. And so I watched the Crash Fest and saw who won. Congratulations. That's what you have turned this sport into. With the overtime racing, none of the rest of it matters. Because nobody races hard until the end anyway, because they know the wreck is coming, and no matter what I do, Kyle Busch basically said this exact same thing when they interviewed him. I know the wreck's coming.
Mm-hmm.
So why in the world would I race hard for the first 200 or 197 laps, knowing that everybody's going to get impatient late, trying to make a move, start the wreck, they're going to reset us, we're going to do it again.
Yep.
That is why you have to get rid of this. I understand you don't want races to end under caution. I get that. But you're absolutely killing the other 197 laps by doing that.
Well, you put yourself in position to be in striking distance at the end. That's the best you can hope for. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes it doesn't happen. But as everybody starts pushing for those last 3 laps, somebody's going to make the stupid mistake. Some people want to use the old, we talk all the time about the NBA and the NFL. There are fans out there, oh, it's rigged. If there was any sport that you could convince me was rigged, it would be NASCAR. Because every big race we have, it always ends the same way.
Oh, if it's rigged, they're doing a terrible job.
Oh, 100%. You
because
don't rig
Ricky
this.
Stenhouse is not who you want to win this.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like,
and this is like the fourth time in 10 years that's happened.
Oh, yeah.
Trevor Blaney, Michael McDowell.
Trevor Bain.
What'd I say?
It's Trevor Blaney. It was Ryan Blaney and Trevor Bain all together.
Yeah, I combined two people there. That was weird. Trevor Bain. It's not good.
No.
My final is also a stock down. It's the Pac-12. I'm here to tell you, the Pac-12 may not exist in 3 years.
Really?
They cannot get a media deal.
It's not.
There is a rumor floating
really
around right
shocking.
now that Turner Sports turned down a $100 million 5-year deal for a third of their games. I don't know how good you are at math, but with 10 teams in that conference, that means every team in the conference has gotten $2 million off that deal a year.
Mm-hmm.
The SEC gets 40. You can't contend that way, and I guarantee you, Oregon and Washington are looking at this going, "What in the world are we tied to?" Then they have a meeting with SMU, like, "Oh yeah, that's going to make this better." Find a mid-tier team out of the AAC.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that'll really cultivate a winning culture in the Pac-12.
No, it's not.
That conference is going to be the one that gets left behind.
Yeah.
And Oregon and Washington will jump at the first opportunity they get.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it'll be the Big 10 or if it'll be the Big 12. It will be one of the two, and they will jump the first chance they get.
All right, stock down for the Pac-12, which Jeremy says may not exist in the next 2 or 3 years. And I could very well see a path for that. My last stock up, stock down from the weekend is a stock up, and it's for Eric Bieniemy. You had to do this. You had to take the move from Kansas City to Washington to prove to everybody that you deserve the shot. For years, we've been having this debate back and forth, and you can have your reasons for why or why not Eric Bieniemy hasn't gotten a shot as a head coach. I'll be very honest with you. I feel like it's all because he is tied to Patrick Mahomes. He is tied to Andy Reid. And I don't know if there's much truth to what he said on FS1, but LaShawn McCoy obviously has been a detractor, has had some criticism of Eric Bieniemy's coaching style in the past. He went on FS1 after it was announced that Eric Bieniemy was going to the Washington Commanders, and he said, look, I like him. I'm rooting for him. I hope he does well. But what's the allure? Because he has nothing to do with the Kansas City passing game. He's the running backs coach. When we're in the meetings, when I was with the Kansas City Chiefs and we were in the meetings and they're coaching up the tight ends and the wide receivers and the quarterbacks, Eric Bieniemy never spoke. That's Andy's job. Andy Reid's the guy that runs that offense. If it doesn't have to do with a running back, then Eric Bieniemy had no part of it. That's according to LaShawn McCoy. I don't know if it's just a personal beef that LaShawn has or if he's speaking the truth and he's the only one that's just getting the headlines for it. But Eric Bieniemy had to take this shot. I think he's a major stock up for me because he's basically putting his career where his mouth is. Of, I'm going to go out here and I'm going to prove it. And I hope he does. I hope he gets his shot after this. I mean, I hope he turns Sam Howell into a Pro Bowler first. But, I mean, if Tyler Huntley can be a Pro Bowler, hell, anybody could be a Pro Bowler.
Yeah, I don't think Pro Bowler really means anything at this point.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. When we come back, the most important message of the day.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Taste of April in the February forecast. We're talking some upper 70s and busting records here in Asheville for Thursday ahead. Been a beautiful day today. 50 degrees our low tonight. Morning clouds Wednesday. Afternoon sunshine. We're at 75 degrees. Even warmer on Thursday. 78 degrees in the valley, and I think we'll push past daily records. Rain showers cooler Friday and Saturday. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slowing 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. Sweeten Creek Road southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Hendersonville Road incident-free. On the Smoky Park Highway, no backups. Patton Avenue moving well. New Leicester Highway, no problems. On the Charlotte Highway, no backups. Tunnel Road incident-free. Checking the drive time from West Asheville to Biltmore Village via Meadow Road. Drive time 12 minutes. I'm Lyndon Pugh with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
Of course, your favorite station is on the free iHeartRadio app. Take us with you anywhere and listen anytime. Plus, get thousands of other stations and playlists all free. Download our free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
iHeartRadio.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville. Welcome back into the Sportsocracy. Most important message of the day.
Don't do crimes.
Yeah, it is the one rule that we love to live by. Don't do crimes, and you won't have to go to the prisons. Because the prisons...
It's not a fun place.
Not a fun place to be at all. Now, story today comes to us from...
Florida.
Florida, that's right, because all the weirdest things happen in Florida. And Brian Marquez is facing charges after he got into a fight with his roommate. Now, this was just last weekend. He got into a fight with the roommate because the roommate, well, he did the unspeakable. He threw his plate of food in the floor. Throws his plate of food in the floor, and the guy, I guess, just saw red. Absolute red, because he jumped on him and beat him to death. Seriously. Beat him to death.
That feels like an overreaction.
And then...
crimes.
And then, well, he kind of panicked. He told the cops that after he had beaten him, held him down on the ground, shoved his mouth full of dirt.
That's...
As you do, I guess.
These are all bad ideas.
He got up, started screaming at the guy to get up, and the guy didn't get up. He didn't move. So instead of calling the police and owning up to his mistake, he decided that he would try to cover the evidence. Well, he didn't cover the evidence very well because the report from the scene was that when cops arrived after getting a tip that there was a blood trail in this guy's yard and what looked like possibly a shallow grave dug in the back of the house, the cops went to the house, they walk out there, and the first thing that they noticed was a foot sticking up out of the ground. The guy, if you're going to dig a hole for a body, how deep you got to go, right? We've always heard the term 6 feet under, right?
Well, I mean, it's not 6 inches, which is what I feel like you're about to say.
It's 18. 18 inches. The guy got 18 inches down, and the guest just went, okay, I think that's good enough. I'm done. Let's cover him up and go. I mean, I get it. Have you ever dug a hole like that before? You ever buried a pet? No.
Well, that's not true. I did once.
I was going to say, like, you bury a pet, and that's when you, like, realize how hard it is to dig a hole in the ground without any special, like, excavator equipment or anything like that. Just you and a shovel. It's pretty hard. And so I guess this happened what I would imagine to be a long day, a long night, and then the guy goes 18 inches. That's all I can do. That's all I can do. And the guy's foot was sticking out of the ground. Obviously, this guy has been charged. He's going to spend many years in prison.
So you said it was a guy that did this?
Yes.
And the hole was 18 inches deep?
Mm-hmm.
Guarantee you tried to convince people it was 20. My story's from Fairfield, California. Oh, two men at 9:20 p.m. on January the 24th, they went into the Gateway Plaza retail store. They threatened to shoot an employee while demanding money from the cashiers.
Never do that.
And then when officers arrived, they fled on foot. But the victims were able to give a description of the men to the police.
Okay.
And when they did so, they imparted a piece of wisdom that ultimately got the two men caught. The cashier that they robbed said, both of them reminded me of the same guys that did this on January 2nd, and they wore the same clothes, and they gave the exact same threat verbatim, and I'm pretty sure that the car they left in was the same car they left in last time.
Oh, wow.
So they pulled traffic cam footage, and they figured out, we know exactly who this is. So they put out a bolo, be on the lookout, which led Anthony Andrew Muzio Jr. to turn himself in because he knew he was caught.
Mm-hmm.
His accomplice, Javian Artez Holmes, 27 years old, did not turn himself in, and U.S. Marshals had to go to his home to procure him. And he would have had maybe a claim that it wasn't him, except he was wearing the same clothes.
Oh, no.
Don't rob people. Okay? That's crimes. That's bad.
Yeah.
If you're going to rob people, certainly don't do it at the same place 2 or 3 weeks later. Stupid criminals will keep this segment happening for as long as we have a show.
Absolutely.
You robbed the same place 2 times in 3 weeks, wearing the same clothes, you went the same way, into the same car.
Almost feel like they want to go to prison sometimes.
Oh, no doubt. Well, and here's the thing. You got to be missing a few brain cells to go, hey, we're going to rob a store, and we're not going to get caught. In spite of the fact, there's cameras everywhere. Don't do crimes.
Indeed. Don't do crimes. And in the NFL, we continue to look forward to the rest of the offseason here. It's all the balls just getting rolling with the franchise tag window is now open.
Tomorrow we will talk about players that
could or should.
I'm going to say should in a lot of cases. Because look, we started our free agency preview today with quarterbacks. Obviously, we'll get to cornerbacks tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
We run short on time. This is not a great free agency class. Now, there are some diamonds that you can find, add to your team. I don't feel like there's a lot of players that are really high-end talent. I feel like the free agency class has the same problem that the draft does. You only got a handful of blue chippers here.
Mm-hmm.
You got a lot of great role players. But the problem with role players when they come into free agency in a class like this, there are teams with a lot of money. Chicago Bears. Atlanta Falcons. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's 2 teams with a lot of money and probably not the most alluring destination.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you do when you have 2 teams that are, I'll say mediocre because I'm in a good mood, and they have money burning a hole in their pocket? What invariably does that lead to?
They overpay.
They overpay. I'm not going to say mediocre, but not elite. They start paying elite money to non-elite players.
Right.
That's why these teams stay on a perpetual cycle.
Like, for example, just throw this one out there. Wait and see how much money Jamel Dean gets.
I don't know that one's going to be as –
You don't think so?
I mean, it'll be – he's going to get a bag.
Oh, yeah. Much more than he's worth, in my opinion.
And I'm reasonably confident it's going to be from the Atlanta Falcons.
I could see that.
Teams love signing free agents out of their own division, and they have a big hole at the other corner spot.
Mm-hmm. And he wouldn't be bad with A.J. Terrell, but if you're going to pay him $18 to $20 million, that's
I don't think it's going to
be
crazy. I don't think it'll be that much. There's too many corners on the market. And we'll talk about that tomorrow. That's one of the deepest positions in the free agency class. That's why we started with these two. Because quarterback and corner are two places that you can go get an impact player. When you get into edge rusher, whew. And I will tell you a player, Daron Payne. Wait till you see how much he makes.
Really?
Because it's going to be a bajillion dollars. If the Commanders don't put the franchise tag.
I was going to say, I think he would be a franchise tag candidate.
I'm not sure they will.
He might be on my list. Were I going to franchise tag somebody? But, like I said, we'll get into more of that coming up on tomorrow's program.
Wide receiver, that's another, you are really going to have to dig deep to find somebody that makes you feel hunky-dunky. When Juju Smith-Schuster is the high-end talent and Odell Beckham Jr., yeah. Then it falls off a cliff.
Mm-hmm. May not be the spiciest offseason if you need a wide receiver. See, that's why that's why I get into the draft. That's why I'm now into the draft is because there are so many good young prospects, especially in the wide receiver classes of the last 4 years. I mean, it's just one after another, and you don't, not all of them are going to end up being Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Garrett Wilson, home runs right away. But there are a lot of really good receivers that are going to be up and coming over the next 3 to 4 years. It's a changing of the guard.
I was told when I first started doing draft things that when you come away from a draft class, if you have more than if you have your original 7 picks and anything more than that, you should be looking to hit 1 grand slam, 1 home run, a double, and 2 singles. That's your goal.
Yep.
That's an elite draft class. Every once in a while, you'll have a Jets, a Seahawks from last year where you hit 3 grand slams, another home run, maybe even a triple or 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's not as common. That's one of the reasons I was rather dumbfounded that you would not be invested in if the XFL or USFL, whichever one survives, turned into what it actually should be.
Mm-hmm.
I think you would be more interested in that than
maybe,
you let on.
And maybe I would. My problem that I have is the guys that are that are playing in the XFL in this scenario to me are not going to be guys that even have a shot at starting for your team. Because as a team, I'm not doing that. I'm not putting that guy. If I think this guy is even the 3rd corner on my team or the 4th corner, like I've got my, I got my 3 starters, and I got this guy who's going to be my 4th. I drafted him in the 5th round. I think he's a Tariq Woolen type guy. I'm not throwing him out there in a spring season.
But see, that's not the guy that you. I think you're oversimplifying what I'm saying. Right now, the NFL has I'm not going to say it's a problem. It's comical to me that neither one of these minor league systems or minor league football leagues understand. Abram Smith, that's a guy I need to see in the XFL. And he's playing in it. You know who I don't need to see? Josh Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to see Martavis Bryant. I don't need to see Paxton Lynch. There are quarterbacks every single year. Every single year. That do not get drafted that I have long said could be 2s or 3s in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And then they wind up in this churn. You said Kyle Slaughter earlier.
Yeah.
I don't need to see Kyle Slaughter. I don't care. I flat out don't care. Now, you take these mid-tier college stars, these guys that would have, if there was an 8th round of the NFL draft and you trot them out there, that's actually guys that are playing to something. Josh Gordon is this is just a nice hobby for him in between Cheech and Chong visits. That's all that is.
Right.
And that's what's always made me laugh is that these leagues think that they can get some mid-tier name that was important in the league 10 years ago, and it'll make people care. It's the same premise as movies. There's two kinds of movies that work. There's blockbusters, where you got Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio and big movie stars. But then there's a second kind of, maybe I don't know the players, but the script is really good, or the premise is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Cocaine Bear, coming soon to theaters near you. That'll work. And it makes me laugh, the little bit of the XFL I watched. This is a lather, rinse, repeat of, you are doing the exact same thing that has failed time after time after time after time. The NFL has a little bit of a problem. It's not a huge problem. Abram Smith it's the perfect example to me. This is a guy that a lot of people really were high on in the draft process last year. There are a lot of draft nerds like me that would watch them play somewhere. The XFL goes, nope, Martavis Bryant, Paxton Lynch.
But that's the thing is, without those names, you're going to get a lot of people who look at it and go, I don't care.
Nobody cares with those names. Nobody cares.
That would at least get me to watch. Like if somebody was telling me that Martavis Bryant's out here scoring 3 touchdowns a week for the XFL,
but he's not.
Then I would watch.
But he's not.
I get
he's
it.
Gassed. If he had any talent left, if he still worked the way that an NFL player worked, he'd be in the league right now. He's not. And when you put these guys in your league, it subconsciously tells people like you and I and the average fan that this is substandard. This is where we pick off the trash heap to show you football in the hopes that maybe you'll watch it.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the path. It's never been the path. How many times have we seen different groups try this? It's the third time we've done the XFL.
Yeah.
Failed miserably the first time.
Yeah, I don't know about miserable.
The first time?
With Vince McMahon?
Yes. It lost $200 million in 2002. Yeah, it's one of the most epic fails ever. It was awful. They lost an entire game because they forgot to plug in the sound truck.
It was better than anything that has been come out over the last few years.
I don't agree with you at all.
Yeah.
The second iteration of the XFL had a shot, and then it got by COVID. And the reason it worked is you did all these innovative things. You took issues that people have with NFL broadcasts, and you fixed it. I know the players are substandard.
Mm-hmm.
They're always going to be.
Mm-hmm.
But the one tie is that you could at least tie it to an NFL franchise, and somebody like me could have a vested interest in the San Antonio Brahmas because that's where the Jets guys go. These undrafted free agents, the Zonovan Knights of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Every team has one. That's just one of the guys from my team. What is he, the 5th running back next year? Yeah, he could be the starter in the XFL, and I'd watch because that guy's on my team.
Yeah, the thing I don't get about these minor leagues, the XFL, the USFL, whatever, especially in the last few years since COVID, the joy or the point, the big allure of minor league baseball has always been what? It's not watching it on TV. It's not even like really the prospects, because you get maybe one prospect that's worth mentioning on a national level as far as the major program is concerned. It's been the attendance. It's been, being in the stadium, getting that.
And you're not getting that.
You don't have that with this. You had last year, they had all their games in Birmingham, where the people of Birmingham don't even care. Now you've got it to where there's, 4 stadiums?
Yes.
That are doing all of these games. Like,
that's to cut down on travel expenses.
and I get
that.
And I understand that. But to me, that's the allure of minor league sports, is being able to enjoy a professional-ish product in your local market. You're not even getting that with these leagues.
But the problem with what you just said is that you can't survive on that.
I get it.
You cannot survive on that.
You're not going to – I mean, I don't think you're going to survive this way either.
I don't know.
I
don't know.
Jury's still out. It's early. Maybe the XFL will start I don't know. Maybe
I gave you a perfect way to survive.
Maybe we'll get so starved for it in the next few weeks that we're actually sitting down and catching ourselves on a weekend.
Never have
flip
before.
it over to the XFL.
Never have before.
Exactly. I don't think it's
the
going to happen.
The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. That is what I see in the XFL.
Mm-hmm.
This is the same mistake I've seen you make twice. You're doing it now for a third time, and you think it's going to go different. Yeah, maybe just consider Why do we watch things? Because we have an emotional attachment. It's the reason college basketball, in its little way, works. It's the reason college football works. It's the reason the NFL works. Because we have an emotional attachment to these. We have no emotional attachment here. You're not getting my eyes if I'm not attached to something. So give me an attachment. Then I'll watch.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. When we come back, Jeremy's mad.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slowing 40 westbound between the 26-240 split, Malfunction Junction, and Smoky Park Highway. 26 eastbound approaching Hendersonville Road, traffic is very slow. On the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge, traffic volume is busy but moving well. Near Inca Village, Sardis Road moving from Sand Hill Road to Bavard Road is very busy. Sweeten Creek Road southbound approaching Mills Gap Road, delays. Hendersonville Road, no backups. I'm Lyndon Field with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business needs, from quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options. Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Do you have taxiety? That uncertain feeling knowing taxes are due and you don't know what to do. You're afraid getting help may cost you big bucks and your sanity. Let the Liberty Tax experts show you a brighter way to do taxes. With us, you can get professional tax prep with zero out-of-pocket charges. Visit libertytax.com and schedule an appointment with a Liberty Tax location near you. Valid at participating locations. Terms and conditions apply. See website or office for details.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
The Ingles 2023 Southern Conference Downtown Dribble and Kids Fest, presented by Champion Credit Union, will be held Saturday, March 4th, 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. at the Roger McGuire Greene at Peck Square Park. The Downtown Dribble will feature interactive games, inflatables, pep bands, cheerleaders, and parade. Each participant will receive a basketball, Downtown Dribble t-shirt, and a ticket to the noon session quarterfinal basketball games. Check-in will begin at 9:30 a.m. at Roger McGuire Greene. To register, visit downtowndribble.eventbrite.com.
Dirty Turkish shark back flat. I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore. Shark back flat.
Let the hate flow through you.
You know something's bad when somebody that was involved in it called it the worst thing ever. That's what Denver head coach Mike Malone called the Sunday's All-Star game. He said it was the worst basketball game ever played.
Wow.
Jaylen Brown, who played in it, kind of said the same thing. That wasn't basketball. That was just highlights and layups and jump shots. Probably just 2 foul calls the entire game. I could keep doing that, but I think you get the point. The NBA has fallen into the same problem that Major League Baseball did. You think that gimmicks get people in. They don't. Show me greatness, and I'll watch it. The problem is Major League Baseball lost the ability to give us riveting stars. And so as time went on, our interest waned and waned and waned until the point we got to an entire generation that we don't know any of the players. If we don't know any of the players, we don't have an emotional attachment. The NBA doesn't have that problem. We know the players. The problem is we don't care because you're giving us a substandard product and trying to tell us how great it is. If you don't fix this, and you can tell me how great All-Star Saturday Night was, I have a feeling when the ratings come out, you're going to see that it wasn't the success you're billing it out to be. You keep giving us a substandard package. Don't be shocked when 5 years from now you're Major League Baseball, because you're on the same path. And I said it when it happened with Major League Baseball, and I'm going to say it now. If you keep piddling on our leg and tell us it's raining, eventually we're going to ask you why it's warm. I'm mad.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Back with you tomorrow here in the Ingles Studio at 3.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Taste of April in the February forecast. We're talking some upper 70s and busting records here in Asheville for Thursday ahead. It's been a beautiful day today. 50 degrees.